Back on pregame and joined now by the head coach of the Clay Center Tigers, Ted Brown, coming off week one, a loss against the Abilene Cowboys at home. Coach, it's disappointing to not come out and execute like you want to. There's a little forgiveness when it's week one with a young group of players you had on the field.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and I spent Friday night sulking a little bit. But then when you watch the film, you see there's some real positives to take away. And when you have a young team like this, that's what you have to do. You have to find some negative stuff to correct, but really sandwich that with positive things so they can keep their confidence up and keep growing.
I know we talked on the locker room show, and we talked about correctable mistakes. That was what you were excited about, is things they were doing, maybe alignment, maybe just not sure that they should be where they wanted to go to. As you think about that, the one positive I heard you say that you cannot take away from anyone is the way they played. They played really hard to a man on Friday night.
Yeah, that's something that you can't coach. The kids are either going to play hard or they'll give up. And these kids did not give up at any point. We put our really young kids out there. Some freshmen got some time, and they came out and they played hard. And no one ever gave up. And as a coach, that's when things get a little hairy, is when the kids don't play hard the whole game. But these kids, you never have to worry about that.
Talk about a little bit of the personnel on the field. Cooper Glavin at quarterback. We know the Army has. He got to throw some last year, but defensively, he really stepped up for you guys at that safety position. I don't know if you want your quarterback throwing his body around quite that much, but he really had a good game.
Yeah, he's good at it. And what you guys saw on Friday is what I've been seeing, all summer and the first part of fall camp is he's not just, the prototypical quarterback. He'll come out and he will hit you. He wants to hit you. He does not want to come out of the game. He wants to play defense. And so I kind of knew he was going to be a guy that we were really going to rely on defensively as well as offensively. So I was just really pleased to see him, translate that onto Friday night.
Stay with the offense for a moment. The offensive line, young crew again. We say this about most positions for you guys this year. That's one of the biggest offensive lines the Tigers have had in a while. They move, though, athletically, I think, and they were able, I said this to you earlier, I didn't know personally, because I don't see them every day, how long they could go through four quarters. I thought they held their own very, very well.
Yeah, especially with it being their first time out there and out there as a unit. With the offense that we play, it really is a unit. And everybody has to be moving in sync. So for them to get out there and do as well as they did, you got to feel good about it. But they were able to, and it was hot. It was really hot. So for them to go out there and, we didn't see a lot of guys asking to come out. I don't think I ever heard a guy ask to come out. So that was a positive.
You come back into this week coming off Labor Day weekend. I know it's always an odd start to the season to me that you play Friday, you don't get back to school and kind of a regular routine until Tuesday. But for you guys as a coaching staff, what do you see from the team coming back to the practice field?
Like you said, I hate this week because I love routine. I think the kids thrive on routine. I think young men especially thrive on routine. So anytime we get out of our routine, it's kind of frustrating. But we try to be as flexible as possible. And the kids were fresh, number one, and excited about this next challenge coming up in Marysville.
Talk about the Bulldogs briefly. I know your first time to go up against them. They are the cream of the crop in the league for a few years. They lost a large, talented senior class. Lost to Chapman last week, but you and I both know Chapman's really, really improving and improved, and Marysville may be down a bit, but don't read into too much of that game last Friday night.
Yeah. No, I agree. We kind of talked about it before. I think this says more about Chapman than it does Marysville, and I think they're both very good teams. And Marysville's coached very well, and so it kind of, I don't know how I feel about us running the similar offense that Chapman runs, as I know, they're going to tighten the bolts on those guys, and they're going to get them, assignment and alignment sound. So I would have rather them come and just roll Chapman and be a little overconfident. But that's not the way it goes. But Chapman's really good. They're going to surprise a lot of people this year, and I think Marysville is also very good.
Be a good matchup, two league opponents to start the season. The Marysville Bulldogs this evening on the Football Friday. Coach, as always, we appreciate the time, and let's go get them tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
Back with more on pregame in just a moment.
Are you in need of physical, occupational, or speech therapy? At Clay County Medical Center, we have board-certified, highly trained medical providers to meet those needs. When you visit, we'll complete an evaluation and develop a customized treatment plan for you. Illness or injury, we can help make your life more active and enjoyable. We are certified in LSVT Big, LSVT Loud, and will soon be ASTEM certified for advanced soft tissue therapy. Clay County Medical Center, our family caring for yours.
First comes love, then comes marriage, and then comes a home in Blueprints? Whether you're newly married or just looking to build the home you've always dreamt of, come see the lenders at United Bank and Trust. Making your plans a reality is their business. Whether it's new construction, refinancing, or everything in between, like new roofs or updating that shag carpet, United Bank and Trust is here to help you with quick loan decisions from a local lender you know and trust. United Bank and Trust.
Thank you for your way of life. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
It's the start of another school year, which means taking stock of your kids' growth. Do they need bigger clothes, bigger backpacks, bigger internet speeds? Help equip them for success with the speed they need. Switch to Twin Valley Pulse today to keep up with your growing family and increased need for speed. Call 800-515-3311 now to get your first 2 months free. Service availability and speed will depend on location. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
With nearly 100 years of proven innovation in specialty chemicals and ingredients, Wilbur Ellis offers custom products and solutions to help you thrive. They work continually to be an indispensable partner in every facet of your agribusiness, from developing a customized program for your specific soil type to supplying the right seed and crop protection products. Wilbur Ellis has you covered. It's time to plan your fall fertilizing program, so contact the agronomy professionals at Wilbur Ellis.
Football Friday night from the Den. Rocky Downing along with studio engineer Bernie Vancella, Zach Elzinga, Chet Carlson with us as we get set for this Football Friday against the Marysville Bulldogs. Two teams that come in off of last year sharing the NCKL crown and now come off of league losses in week number 1. As we get week number 2, we welcome you to a Friday night from the Den. Chet, these two teams have a great storied rivalry, and for the last several years, Marysville has been the team to beat in the NCKL. May still happen, but after week 1, Chapman threw out a pretty good bang on him.
Well, Chapman threw out some big punches last week on Marysville and came away with the victory. You're right. We shared the title with them last year. You're right. They have kind of dominated us like the last 3 years or so. A lot of that was due to one man's name, who happened to be the MVP of the Shrine Bowl this last year, and he's gone. And so much like us, they're trying to figure out their identity this year.
They lost a big group of seniors, much like the Clay Center Tigers. And we were talking with some of their people for Marysville, and some of the same things are being said. We're very young. We don't really know where we're at. We don't know who we are just yet. But toughness is going to come because we're a team that is going to build and grow. This could be a big game for both teams to build and grow for this season.
I think it's a pivotal game for both teams. I think it's a very important game to both teams. The team that loses is at the end of the season? No. But the team that wins, it could catapult them forward big time. It's one of those games that what they're looking at, these teams are so similar coming in all regards that it's just very important. It's who gets the advantage early, who gets the jump, who gets their foot on somebody's throat and stays on it or lets up. It's gonna be a fun game.
I'm going to shift gears as we talk to Z-Dog here a little bit. You grew up on this football field, played high school football here, as did Chet, but you've been in that playoff system we've had for a lot of years. How weird is it right now to think that a week from tonight, district play begins?
Oh, it's definitely weird. Yeah. It used to be like the last 3 weeks of the season. That's when it really mattered. I know my senior year, we had a losing record, and all we had to do was win 2 out of the last 3, and we were in the playoffs. That's right. But, yeah, it starts now, week 2.
Yeah, it's going to be really strange for people to get used to because next week, the first game of district play. So that's why the schedules are odd. We've tried to kind of let people in on this because it is so brand new. We don't play Concordia this year. Right. That used to be a given because it's a league team, and they were in our district for how many years straight?
1,000.
Yeah, it seemed like it. And now we don't play them at all this year. We play Halstead. We play Heston, who haven't played ever. and they're in our district this season, and so it's a really different stretch. And we'll get more into that next week as it really truly begins, but I just think it's weird for most fans, coaches, players, broadcasters, that it's all happening right now.
Well, and we talked about it last week, and districts are more than 3 teams, or 4 teams now.
The 16 districts.
Yeah, and so everything about it's a whole different dynamic, and I can't wrap my brain around it yet. It'll take living it for a year once to really get it down, but yeah, this is Marysville, Clay Center, week 2. That never happened.
Well, 2 of the biggest rivalries in the NCKL. Abilene last week, Clay Center, Marysville this week, the first 2 weeks of the season. Starting lineup's about to be announced. We'll take a timeout, come back and get you set up for this game, kind of how these 2 teams got through week 1 with the losses and maybe what they're looking to move toward here in week number 2 on this Football Friday. Back in the Den after this.
TSI Kansas reminds everyone to pay attention to the school zones and always drive defensively. Children can be unpredictable when it comes to crossing streets and highways. You never know when a new, less experienced driver will do something unexpected. Safety is a priority here at TSI Kansas.
Robbins Motor Company of Manhattan is a proud supporter of Tiger football. It's time for their Ram Power Days. Get to Robbins Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, and Fiat. Come test drive the all-new 2019 Ram truck, the longest-lasting truck in America, now priced to move with Ram Power Days discounts and 0% for 72 months. Now is the time to buy. See their complete inventory online at robbinsmotors.com or come visit them on West Anderson in Manhattan. Good luck, Tigers.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow Research Program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
You'll be amazed at what you can save when you use the Ray's Apple Market app. Browse the grocery and household items that have digital coupons or scan items in store to see if there's a coupon available. Deals of the week and reward points are also additional ways to save money. Plus, you'll find outstanding quality in the meat department with certified Angus beef and Smithfield prime pork. You're also going to like the selection of home baked goods. Quality you can taste and savings that add up at Ray's Apple Market.
Back once again from the Den, Rocky Downing along with our studio engineer, Bernie Fancello. We have Zach Z-Dog Elzinga, Randy Chet Carlson, 24th year in the booth alongside. As always, we appreciate the years you've put in with Tiger football and another Clay Center Marysville matchup. You played it.
Yeah.
You've coached it at some of the other levels, and you broadcast many of them, and it's always a fun matchup between the 2 teams.
It's always a fun matchup. It doesn't matter if we're going down there or if we're playing here. It's always the same. I don't ever feel like in this game there's a home field advantage. We talked about, I really don't. We talked about the 2 main rivalries that Clay Center seems to have. Abilene, who we played last week, Marysville, who we played this week. And in my mind, there always seemed to be a home field advantage with Abilene. There never did with Marysville, but that's my mind.
It's a weird mind to get into.
Don't go
there. I've been around it quite a while. Let's look at what Marysville brings to the table. They're running 2 quarterbacks to start the season. Slupianic, 5'10", 185 junior, played some downs at quarterback. Brandon Schradle's getting the bulk of the work, 5'10", 150 a junior. He likes to throw it around, 12 of 19, 180 yards last week. His main target, Jacob Backus, a 6', 150-pound senior. He had a touchdown, 9 catches for 150 yards. So he's going to look for number 9 when he drops back to pass.
Well, I think so. 9 catches. That's a lot of catches in a high school football game in a losing effort.
Right.
And so that's all of a sudden in 1 week become his go-to guy. Whether that pans out in week 2, but he'll be looking for him quickly in week 2.
Cody Brown, a wide receiver at 6'3", 185. He's a presence out on the field. And then Treyu Hornbeek, who is an athlete we've seen work his way through the Bulldog system, a 6-foot, 195-pound junior, 2 touchdowns last week, had a catch for 15 yards, 11 carries, 51 yards. He'll take up the bulk of the running along with senior Derek Raver, 5'9", and 170. One thing we mentioned off the air, Coach Ted Brown mentioned to me on the air, is the fact that Chapman runs a similar offense to what the Tigers run. So Marysville's seen kind of some of the same schemes anyway and can try to work on what they want to stop after last week's Isaac Jackson went crazy, 250-some yards.
Well, they really, that is a key point. Now, Chapman's not run it as long as we have.
Right.
And they have totally different personnel. I talked about last week we have one of the largest lines we've had in a while. Chapman's bigger. They have a premier back, and so we might bring more balance. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
I agree. It is going to be interesting to see how both these teams, they say you can tell a lot about a team and the improvement from week 1 to week 2.
Exactly.
And both of these teams have a chance to really improve because we weren't disappointed with what the Tigers did last week. It was frustrating at times, but there wasn't disappointment on how the efforts and some of the things they did on the field.
No, it was temporary disappointment on certain plays,
right?
Which is frustration is what you're saying. But I came out of that game with so many positives to build on. But when you read all the press out of the Marysville paper this last week, they said all the same things we said last week.
Right.
So many positives to build on.
Most will remember that Coach Hoyer for the Marysville Bulldogs, the brother of Coach Hoyer for the Hanover Wildcats, so these two know how to put systems into place. Clay Center Tigers will kick it off here to start this football game. It'll be Tanner DeMars who will boot it away for the Tigers, going from the north end zone towards the south end zone. Back to receive is Raver and Backus, and our tasty pastry kickoff going to be taken by Raver just back inside the 10-yard line. The return out across the 15 near the 20, and he's going to be tripped up there and brought down by Keegan McDonald on the special teams play. So the Tiger defense gets a chance to go. Coach Brown said last week one of the coolest things he's experienced in high school football, the bike night, the atmosphere, everything going on. He said our guys were so jacked up, he really hoped they would start on defense. Well, we saw a bobble snap on the very first play on offense. He said they were just so amped up. Well, tonight, the defense gets a chance to go as Marysville goes out of the shotgun to begin. Tradle from that gun, sends a runner in motion from left to right. He'll throw to him. That ball is going to be loose and free, picked up by Backus, and he will step out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. He'll lose 2 or 3. Could have lost a whole lot more. That was a lateral pass. That was a live ball. Backus for Marysville, smart enough to go pick it up and get what he could out of it.
Absolutely, because we didn't have anybody over there. We had one guy, and he was being blocked. And so this ball's bouncing around on the field, and this back that was the intended recipient of the backwards lateral, is chasing the ball all around on the field. So the Tigers came out of it with a 2-yard loss.
Second down, 12. The handoff underneath. This is going to be to Hornbeek. He runs to the left side, picked up there by Cam Osborne. Nice work by Cam, and then help coming also from Jake Ferguson and Dawson Humphrey and company. And it'll be a gain of about 5. Third down and long for Marysville at their own 32-yard line. Third down, 7 yards to go.
And this is a great opportunity for the Tiger defense here because it's third and long, and the Tiger defense has this opportunity to get a stop, maybe get a 3-and-out on the very first possession. They have to step up on D right here on one play.
Third down, we'll call it 6, a little bit further on the nudge on the spot than first thought. 2 receivers off to the left side, slotted as Backus, the favorite target for Schradel, the quarterback. He will hand off underneath to Hornbeek. He gets by one tackler, now gets free to the 40, out to the 45-yard line, 1st and 10 for Marysville. And the Clay Center Tigers, some of the problems we saw last week, Chet, in position, not finishing. And this time they had a pretty good blocking scheme in front, but they were in position.
Yeah, there was a little bit of each. There was a couple of good blocks laid down there with our first penetration of resistance there. And then the secondary guys that could have still stopped him from the first down just failed to make the tackle.
Tigers going 3-man front. Logan McDonald along with Keegan McDonald and Dalton Brumfield up front. Here is Hornbeek again. He'll be brought down by Brumfield from behind. A gain of about 4. Second down, we'll call it 6 yards to go. They near the midfield stripe, the Marysville Bulldogs.
There's about 4 juniors we were looking at on this in our scouting stuff that we'll be calling their names a lot tonight, and Hornbeak is one of them. He's a 6-foot, 195-pound junior. He's already carried the ball a couple of tough runs, and he'll probably be carrying the ball all night long.
Tradle out of the gun now. And again to Hornbeak. Atreyu Hornbeak, and he's going to be brought down. Keegan McDonald's going to get up with the tackle. There were 3 or 4 in the area helping out, but he wrapped him up and brought him down. It'll be short of first down. Third down, about 3 to go. The football is into Tiger territory at the Clay Center 48-yard line.
Well, it seems like everybody's opinion or their attitude changes once you cross midfield, once you cross the 50. Now, they barely crossed it, and here we are. It's a great place for a stop for the Tiger D. Third and able to stop is what I call this.
Tigers have Jake Ferguson, Dawson Humphrey, and Dylan Moon, the linebackers. Here's Stradle from the gun, hand off to Hornbeak. He's going to be hit in the line of scrimmage and stood up there. It'll be 4th down and 2, maybe a gain of 1 at most, and it was a posse of Tigers, but it looks like Humphrey, and along with Humphrey in there, Dalton Brumfield on the play, throw in Tillman Hartner on the play, all stacking it up inside. And the Tigers hope they can stay with a 3-man front. If they can do that and they stay with it, it means they're taking care of business and the rest of the guys can go make tackles.
Absolutely. No intent to punt here. It's 4th and about 2. Marysville's going for it.
And from the gun, Stradle. And hard count, still a hard count. Now he steps back. Will they snap it or will they try to draw him off sides? And now they do go for it. And he'll keep it himself. Stradle to the right side, gets a block, and now free to the 40th Clay Center. No flags down. 1st down and 10. Marysville goes for it on 4th and 2 and takes it to the Clay Center Tiger 35-yard line.
And that was a really good call by Marysville. They've been given to Hornbeak, I'm going to say all night. It's just one possession, but they've been given to him very heavy. They fake the handoff to him, and the quarterback comes around without any protection, coming around the right, and he got enough to get the first down.
1st down 10 at the Tiger 35-yard line. Almost 4 minutes chewed off his clock on the opening drive for the Bulldogs. Stradle again from the gun. He will go underneath the Hornbeak. This time runs into a pack, and the Tigers stuff it and bring him backward. That defensive line, Keegan McDonald, Logan McDonald, Dalton Brumfield were the first 3 in there. Then the backers came in and kind of made sure they didn't go forward. That's a big-time stand inside.
Yeah, and this is early in the game, and both teams are trying to figure out the other team. And I'll tell you what's happening on the field right now. Both of these teams feel like they can beat the other team. It's like every other play, the other team comes out on top.
4-man front now for the Tigers. Stradle, high snap, and he has it. Pitch left. This is going to be Hornbeak. Outside, he's hit once and tripped up by Blake Frederick. He'll fall forward for a gain of maybe 5. It brings up 3rd down and 4 or 5 left to go. The football almost to the Tiger 30-yard line.
Well, we say a gain of maybe 5, but I got to tell you what Blake Frederick did there. He fought off a really good block on the corner. And if Blake Frederick doesn't fight off that block and make that tackle, it's maybe 6 points. For Marysville. Blake did a great job.
3rd down, we'll call it 5. They mark him just outside the 30. 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs. Receiver in motion. Pick the handoff. First time to pass down the field. Has Backus wide open. Touchdown Marysville. Jacob Backus takes it in, and the Tigers trying to crowd that front row where the Bulldogs have been running, stacking it, and off of play action, Backus wide open down the field.
Yeah, and it wasn't play action really, but it was a RPO type of a play, where it's run play option, and as you go through that, he was wide open. It was quite a breakdown by our secondary. All they had to do was play catch, and it was 6 points.
Favorite target for Stradle and the Bulldogs, and they didn't find Backus downfield. It's going to be Stradle now with a carry for the 2-point conversion, and he's going to be stopped. So the Tigers do make the stop. Cooper Glavin in on the tackle that time. It'll be 6-0 Bulldogs with 7:01 to go. We're in the opening quarter. Tigers will touch the football for the first time when we come back.
With a 3-day weekend coming up, you've got time to play and get after those overdue painting projects, right? At Hometown Lumber and Hardware in Marysville, they've got Labor Day rebates on all your favorite Valspar paints August 26th through September 9th. Choose Valspar Pristine, the only paint and primer with clean science technology, and you'll save $10 a gallon container with a mail-in coupon. Total savings up to $80. Don't miss it. Visit Hometown Lumber and Hardware in Marysville. See rebate coupon in store for details.
Farming and ranching isn't just your livelihood, it's your life. No one understands that better than Farm Bureau Financial Services. As the #1 farm insurer in Kansas, we offer comprehensive coverage that protects your farm and ranch, machinery, livestock, and so much more. We make it simple to get customized coverage in one policy with one premium and one deductible when you need it most. Contact Farm Bureau agents Justin Tadman and Michael Hodges in Clay Center to learn more about smarter insurance for agriculture. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
7:01 to work in the opening quarter. It's Marysville that takes the opening possession 5 minutes and into the end zone on a touchdown pass from Tradle to Backus. The 2-point conversion try was denied. The Tigers trail 6-0. Back to receiver the Tigers. Tanner DeMars and Blake Frederick are deep just outside their own 5-yard line. Jake Ferguson and Sincere Sanders just in front of them. Here's the kick. Short kick that's going to bounce. Ferguson will pick it up to 25. Return toward the outside left. Now gets by one tackler. Now it's going to be wrapped up. Pulls the tackler forward to about the 33-yard line. The Tigers will take over there on their first offensive possession. Up front for the Tigers, it'll be Dalton Brumfield and Luke Koppas, the tackles. The guards are Tillman Hartner and Logan McDonald. Keegan McDonald is at center. Cooper Glavin, the quarterbacks. Tanner DeMars, Trevin Shirley, the wide receivers. Jake Ferguson, Dylan Moon, the start in the backfield tonight offensively. Ethan Straub also able to go this week. Remember, he couldn't play last week because of an arm. He's wrapped up in almost what looks like a bionic cast right now. It's one of those braces that's hoping to protect him and let him play the rest of the season. Hand off, it's Glavin to Humphrey. Short yardage play out to the 35-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd down and 8. Tigers move it 2 yards. First possession after Marysville ate up 5 minutes of opening quarter clock and then drove it into score on the long pass play up top.
It's really important the Tigers try to get something established here and move the chains a few times.
2nd down 8 from their own 35-yard line. 6:25 to work, opening quarter. Glavin fakes left, now moves right. He's going to keep it. Looks like a busted play. They lose a yard or 2. It brings up 3rd down and long. He moved left, and nobody was home, and then he just took it right. It almost looked like a quarterback trap, but it was not. I think it was a busted play.
Yeah, absolutely. It was not a design play. If it was, it needs to come out of the playbook. But, it was one of those. It was a busted play, and he was lucky to salvage what he did.
Trevin Shirley had an equipment issue, has to come out. Clayton Strecker in. He played well last week in reserve for Shirley at that tight end position. So the Tigers face with 3rd and 9. From the gun, or from the underneath the center is Glavin. Back to pass downfield looking for Straub. A battle one-on-one with Backus, and it will be incomplete. Backus stride for stride with Straub, who went up and actually did a pretty good job to make sure Backus didn't bring it down and disrupted the play. So the Tigers 3 and out. Will have to punt it away, and the line of scrimmage at their own 33-yard line.
Well, the Tiger offense, kind of stalled out there. They picked up 2 on 1st down, lost 1 on 2nd down, incomplete pass on 3rd and 9. And so here we are punting away. But the defense looked good last time. They just gave up the one big pass. We need to get the ball back.
High snap. Trevin Shirley goes back and gets it. Now we'll have to tuck it and try to run it. Gets to the outside left. To the 15, there's a penalty flag back behind the play, and the Tigers are going to lose big-time yardage. The penalty, I think, is going to be a block in the back on the Tigers, and it's going to move them back even further.
It is, and it was a delayed call. He waited a while before I think he was making sure, he was looking at the whole situation, but it's going to be a block in the back, so it's going to move it probably to, the 7-yard line or so.
So Marysville will have a short field with 5:32 to work in the opening period, and the Tigers trailing here 6-0. The snap was high. Trevin got a hand on it, which was fortunate, and actually got a bounce to pick up. And when he turned around, there was nowhere to go.
Yeah, I'm going to call this a turnover. This is like a turnover. This is a turning point in the game. Very pivotal. You give the team a short field like this, and, they must have picked up the flag because they're just running it at the 15.
Marysville will have it at the 15-yard line. The fake on the handoff to Raver, and Stradle keeps it himself. Now almost pulls away near the 5-yard line. The quarterback rumbles his way to almost a 1st down carry, and he was bouncing off 2 or 3 Tigers there that had chances to stop that play.
Yeah, Schradel's a 5'10", 150-pound junior. He's shifty, he's quick, he's strong, and that time he showed he could break some tackles.
Second down and short. And now the Bulldogs, I thought they'd put Raver back at quarterback and keep Schradel there with Hornbeak beside him. That's the only 2 backs. They have 2 receivers left and 1 wide to the right side. Second down is short. And it's a handoff underneath to Raver. He is wrapped up and buried by Blake Frederick. Very close, though, to the first down by the time Raver fell forward. It was second down and right at a yard to go. Frederick, great form tackle there to break down and stop him. And it does appear he stopped him short for 1st and 10.
Yeah, he's about a half a yard short. That was a form tackle. It was a perfect form tackle by Blake Frederick on that play. You know, and again, he fought off the block. He got through there. It's you got to make the play now or they score, you know, and that's what happened.
Third down, inches to go now for the Bulldogs. At the Tiger 11-yard line. Handoff now is Schradel keeping it himself. He's got the first down a little bit more inside the 5 near the goal line, trying to push forward. It'll bring up first down and goal now at the Tiger 1-yard line.
What Schradel's able to do on several of those running plays, it's almost like the zone read, you know, where he fakes that handoff, and it's really not the prototype zone read, but he comes off of that and he kind of stalls. And he watches what opens up, and then he picks his hole.
Now, for fans of old Bulldog football, he's not keeping it in the belly past the line of scrimmage like they used to. It's a true more of a gun zone read. Here's Raver diving across the top and into the end zone. And, boy, Marysville here in the first quarter, 3:52 to go, all of a sudden has a 12-0 lead, and they'll line up to go for the 2-point conversion. Once again, it was denied last time.
Well, they stopped the Tigers on 3 and out, and then it was an unforced error that the Tigers gave the ball to them on the 15-yard line. So
yeah, they weren't in bad field position to punt, but the high snap, and then Marysville covered it up, and the Bulldogs go on top 12-0. And now for the 2-point conversion. Schradel from the gun. Rolls right, wants to pass, fires to the end zone, has a receiver, that is Backus, and the 2-point conversion is good. Marysville leads 14-0. 3:52 remains. We're in the opening quarter here in the Den. Stay with us. Tiger football continues next.
Formerly serving you as Crop Production Services, your Nutrient Ag Solutions retailer is always standing by. And the same faces you've relied on for years are now more capable than ever, no matter what comes your way. We're more than an unwavering partner. We're the first choice in the field to help you get the most out of yours. Our commitment is to deliver high-quality products and service, and our customer-focused teams will meet your crop nutrition needs efficiently and on time. Visit nutrientagsolutions.com to learn more.
With Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy's Sync program, the days of refilling your prescriptions on different days are over. Whether you have only 2 medications to refill or more, they can now all be synced and refilled on the same day. No more extra trips to the pharmacy. They're all filled at the same time to pick up at the same time, or have them mailed to you or delivered at no charge. Ask to sync your prescriptions for added convenience at Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy in downtown Clay Center.
The Tigers fall behind 14-0. Now to kick off is Matt Lindhorst for the Marysville Bulldogs. The Tigers have Blake Frederick and Tanner DeMars back deep to receive. Last time it was a very short pooch kick that landed about the 30. Jake Ferguson scooped it up and returned it. The kick this time, same area. DeMars will come up and retrieve it at the 25-yard line. Now starts left, finds the steam, breaks one tackle to the 45-50. Midfield strike finally brought down from behind. Tanner DeMars. We said he's going to be dangerous if he finds the seam. He found one, Chet. Takes it to the Bulldog 44.
Sorry I shouted go right there, but there was that seam, and I saw him hit it. And, man, if he'd have had another half a step, that's all he needed. But what a great return. He got it out not only past midfield, he's at the 44-yard line.
Tigers will take over at the Marysville Bulldog 44, down 14-0. So maybe a momentum move for the Tigers. Here's Glavin. Option play right side. Keeps it, tucks it to the 40, down to the 35-yard line. He takes it for 9 yards on the first down carry. Cooper makes it second down and 1.
Sometimes a big return, ignites a team. And I saw the offense come out there with a spring in their step, and They rattle off 9 yards on first down.
To the Bulldog 35, second down, 1 yard to go. Just off the line of scrimmage, tight left is Trevin Shirley. Ethan Straub, the receiver, wide to the right side, the short side of the field. Dawson Humphrey behind Cooper Glavin. And the Tigers had 2 players in motion. Glavin's going to tuck it and go, but this will come back 5 yards as both wingbacks went in motion at the same time.
Yeah, and that's a no-no.
So
that is a penalty.
Loss of 5, stays second down, backs him up just outside the Bulldog 40-yard line. It'll be second down and 6.
And those mental errors or whatever it is, happen more in the early part of the season.
Right.
Sometimes there's not clarity in the play call or whatever the case is or what your responsibility is. But as you know, you can put one man in motion, can't put 2 guys in motion. They went in motion at the exact same
Toward
time.
each other, yeah. Second down and 6. Straub again to the right side, the short side of the field. Shirley is just off the line to the left. Moon a wing back left, Ferguson to the right side. Humphrey behind Glavin. Cooper Glavin, option play, keeps it underneath this time and falls forward near the 35-yard line. A gain of maybe 3. It brings up third down. Tigers trail 14-0.
So a big run on first down, picking up 9 yards on first down. Then 5 yards was negated with that penalty. Now we're looking at third and makeable. I mean, it's 3rd and 2. A pretty good little cut up the middle by Cooper Glavin on that last play.
Big offensive line digging in. Cooper Glavin gets the play call. The players look at their wrist coach and now set to go. And quick hit up the middle. Dawson Humphrey bounces off 1 tackle and then falls forward to the 33-yard line. First down and 10 Tigers. They'll move the chain.
Dawson Humphrey had both arms wrapped around that ball, and he's got very strong legs. He has a low center of gravity. He has good balance. He just plowed into that, made sure he got that first down.
Ran right behind Keegan McDonald, the center, and Morgan Thiebold, who playing on that left guard position right now. First down and 10. 2 minutes to work, first quarter. Tigers trail 14-0, but moving. They have it at the Bulldog 33. Here's Glavin. Underneath, no. Option keeps it. Now he's got a little space to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of at least 4, maybe 5 on the first down carry by the quarterback, Cooper Glavin.
Now, we saw Cooper take it to the house one time last week in the second half. And, he got out there on the edge and was able to cut it up. But we didn't see him keep it this many times in the first half.
Right. Second down, 6, a gain of 4. As the Tigers get set to work, both receivers are tight. Straub right, Shirley left. There's a handoff to Dawson Humphrey. And he's digging for extra yardage behind that big offensive line. He gains maybe a couple. It'll bring up third down inside the 30 of the Marysville Bulldogs. 1:05 to work in a lightning-quick first quarter, despite 2 scores by the Bulldogs, placing their trails 14-0. Third down and 4 to go at the Bulldog 27. Under a minute to work in the first quarter. Glavin looks to the sideline for the call. Now goes in under center. Third down 4. In motion comes Ferguson. And it's Glavin who keeps it, stretches out. It gets it across the 25. They'll be shy of the first down yardage, but at a position in the field, you can go right up on the line of scrimmage and go for it here.
Well, I think so. I mean, we're inside the 25-yard line. You don't want to punt. We can't kick a field goal. 4th and about 2. We're going to either see a hard count or a quick count.
Going quick. Glavin now steps back after Ferguson went in motion. 4th down, 2 yards to go. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Cooper back under center. 4th down, they'll go for it. Handoff, Dawson Humphrey trying to drag a defender with him, and he cannot pull forward. The initial contact came right at the line of scrimmage. He got him forward a touch, but not enough to move the chains. The Tigers will turn it over with 1 second remaining in this first period. But a good drive, but the Tigers set up by the return from Tanner DeMars.
Yeah, it was a really good return by Tanner. It kind of ignited the offense. We got a few things going there. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot a couple of times and moved ourselves back, but we're on the correct end of the field here, even though we gave up the ball on down.
So 1 second remains first quarter. Marysville will snap it. Tradle, back to pass. Pump fakes right, moves back left, throws it to Hornbeek underneath. Little screen play. Now Hornbeek breaking free to the 50-yard line. Now he breaks a play again. He may be gone. Cam Osborne cannot trip him up. There are no flags down, and the Bulldogs have gone up 3 scores at the end of this first quarter. The Tigers had the drive to get him in position. You talked about field position for the Tigers, and then they just give up a big play.
Gave up a really big play, and Marysville just went up top. 1 second to go in the quarter. They throw the pass. They complete the pass. We got blocked by a couple of guys, and we missed a couple of tackles, and all of a sudden, 75 yards later, it's a touchdown.
Faked right, came back left with a little screen pass, and Hornbeek did the rest on the run downfield 75 yards. And the Tigers now trail 20-0. They'll have one more play, the Bulldogs, trying for 2 to end this first quarter. And what a quarter it's been for the Bulldogs. Here's Stradle rolling right. Now passes last second, and the tackle's made by Cam Osborne on Jacob Backus outside the goal line. So they deny the 2 points. A 20-0 ball game. And we are headed to the second quarter. Tigers trail by 3 scores when we come back.
Hey, football fans. This is State Farm agent Dave Borgerding thanking you for your support of my local business. Because of your support of my State Farm agency, we're able to give back in the form of sponsorship, the State Farm Fishing Derby, the State Farm Community Appreciation Day at the Play Center Pool, and the USD 379 Staff School Year Kickoff. We appreciate your business. Visit ClayCenterInsurance.com for a quote or find us on Facebook. That's ClayCenterInsurance.com. Go Tigers.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for the Italian collection. How would you like it?
I'll take a rallying cry, please.
Coming right up.
Champions of flavor! Ahead lies a meaty, savory, and spicy trio of Italian subs. But let not these European flavors overpower you. For tonight we dance on the crumbs of spicy Italian BFT, and turkey Italiano melt. Go more to Subway and make it what you want. Limited time at participating shops.
Tiger football on KCLY. Rocky Downing along with Bernie Fancella. We have Zach Elzinga and Chet Carlson in the booth on a football Friday from the Den. And at some point, Z, I'm going to look over and ask you for stats, but they're just not good, are they?
You don't want to know that.
I believe that. It's been all Marysville. Tigers had their first possession offensively, resulting in the snap to the punter that put him back, gave a short field as the Bulldogs had already scored one. Then the big return. Here's a kick taken up front about the 34-yard line. The return by Jake Ferguson to the 36-37 is where the Tigers will take over, trailing now 20-0. So the Bulldogs ate up 5 minutes of clock on their opening possession and took it in on a long pass play after several third and fourth down conversions. Then the Tigers had the long snap that went bad for them on the punts, gave a short field, Bulldogs in again, and then the Tigers had the big return from by the Mars, and were moving the football, and on fourth down and short, unable to get it, and then one play later with 1 second on the clock in the first quarter, a screen pass turns into a 75-yard touchdown, and Clay Center is down 20-0.
And that was just a physical and a mental breakdown by Clay Center on that play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all there is to it.
Here's Glavin under center, back to pass on first down. Rolls further right, throws out in the sideline, has a receiver that's going to be caught by Trevin Shirley near the sideline. Backus knocks him out, but a good catch, good throw and catch by Glavin to Shirley. It's a pickup of 5, second down and 5 yards to go. The football across the Tiger 40-yard line.
Yeah, good. Nice to see an out pattern run like that, executed like that, thrown like that, and caught like that.
Ferguson is slotted to the right side. Shirley out there as well. Left is Straub. Here's Glavin. Handoff underneath to Dawson Humphrey. Not much there. He does crawl forward for maybe a yard or two. It'll be third down and 4. Just underway in the second quarter.
Dawson Humphrey took a beating last Friday night, especially in the first half. And the first half of this game is shaping up a lot like it.
Tigers football. Third down, 4 yards to go. The football is at their own 43-yard line. Glavin back to pass. Looking downfield. Right sideline for Jake Ferguson, and it's just overthrown. Good coverage downfield by Cody Brown. So fourth down and 3, and the Tigers will be forced to punt it as they send Trevin Shirley in 2 punts.
Jake Ferguson was flying up the sidelines, and as the pass was coming in, he got about a half a step on the defender. The ball was just slightly overthrown by Cooper Glavin, but Cooper had a lot of pressure on him.
Shirley stands at his own 31. A high snap once again over his head. He has to chase it back to the 15, to the 12-yard line. Now he will step and punt it, but it's going to be blocked. And now covered up by the Bulldogs, and they'll have it at the Tiger 12-yard line. Recovered by Marysville's Ben Dorocati. And Trevin Shirley did a pretty amazing job to get the football. He tried to get a punt away, but by that time, Marysville had everybody coming at him.
Well, his last two times he's been back to punt, and the snap sails over his head. He's tracking it down. On the first time, he's trying to run out of it because he couldn't even get a half a second to punt the ball. This time he got a half a second to punt the ball, but it was blocked.
11 minutes to go, first half, and now the Tigers down 20-0. Had their backs against the wall early second quarter. Tradle out of the shotgun. He has Raver behind him. Snap is a good one. He'll roll right, wanting to pass it. Rolls further right, has a little room. Nice steps, fires back to the end zone, and just off the hands of his intended receiver. I believe that was Backus once again. You can almost bet it will be Backus. He loves to throw, and why would you? The guy's a great receiver. He just missed on that one.
Yeah, and we said before the game, with 9 completions last week and a loss, he's going to be going to him all the time. He's been going to him all the time tonight.
So second down 10 at the Tiger 12-yard line. Marysville lines up 10:54 to work in this first half. They lead 20-0. Threatening again. Tradle has 3 receivers to the left. That puts Backus in motion from left to right. Throws out to Backus in the flats. He will shake and bake. Cam Osborne forces a fumble, but then Backus comes back up with it and ends up falling on the football, but they'll lose about 3 yards. Nice play by the Cam Slam out there.
Well, it was, and we talked about this last week when a time or two we forced a fumble on Abilene last week. The ball bounced right back up in their hands, and that's what happened with Backus this time.
Third down and 12 as the football backs out to about the 15-yard line. 10:24 to work. Clock ticking here in the second quarter. Tigers trail 20-0. Third down 12 with 10:15 to work first half. Tradle puts Raver to his left side, gets the snap and runs that direction. Option play, and he has stood up and buried. Big-time tackle by Trevin Shirley. The hit in the backfield on Stradle, and it brings up fourth down and long. He had Raver out in front, or trying to get out in front, but Shirley just blew it up immediately and wrapped up and drove Stradle to the ground. 9:46 clock ticking here in the second quarter. Tigers trailing 20-0, but it's fourth down 13. Abilene Concordia scoreless after one quarter of play. That score just coming in. Fourth down and long, and now it's going to be Marysville with a timeout. One more score before we go to break. Wakefield trailing Solomon 24-0, 5:07 to go first quarter. Wakefield Bombers down to Solomon 24-0. Here the Tigers down 20-0. 9:27 to work. The defense looking to make a stop on fourth and long when we come back.
At United Bank and Trust, we get it. Bank hours don't always fit into your schedule. With the United Bank and Trust mobile banking app, you can bank anytime, anywhere. At home, at work, or anywhere in between. You can perform convenient and secure transactions like mobile check deposit, transfer money between accounts, or see your balance instantly. Find it by searching for United Bank and Trust mobile app in your app store. Mobile banking with United Bank and Trust. It's banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
20-0 ball game. Tigers down, but the defense standing up here, Chet, trying to make a stance, maybe turn some momentum back in their favor.
What a great hit by Trevin Shirley on that last play. I put it on the board as a possible big hitter in this game.
No doubt. And at a big time, and the Tigers needed a stop. Now it's 4th and 13. Football is at the Tiger 15-yard line. Tradle out of the gun. Marysville back to pass, sets, fires toward the end zone. It's nearly picked off, then loose, then nearly picked off again. Blake Frederick, I think, did end up catching it, but he was out of bounds. But it's fourth down. The Tigers are going to take over on down.
I think he might have caught it on the tip drill, but it was about 4 yards beyond the end zone. But good defense by the Tigers back there.
Cooper Glavin, I think, got the first hand on it, tipped it loose, got up in the air. Blake Fredericton nearly coming down with it. 9:19 to work, second quarter. The Tigers will take over.
Well, let's go back and set that play up. The reason they were running the kind of pass play they were, they had a short field. They took over in a big advantage. Trevin Shirley's hit on third down.
Here's Cooper Glavin, fakes it right, moves it left. Now takes it out near the 20-yard line, a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. No, that huge stop. And the Tigers got it started. Cam Osborne had the hit on the opposite side of the backfield. Pops it loose. Back is recovered. And then Shirley got the hit on the near side. And that was what could have been 4th and long. Second down and let's call it 5 yards to go. They gave him the 20-yard line. 8:50 left to work, second quarter. Glavin under center. Ferguson in motion. Handoff to Humphrey, and there was nothing there. Immediate contact nearly as the handoff was being given by Bryson Dedamore that time.
Yeah.
So third down and 4. He does get a couple out of it, maybe a yard out of it, 3rd and 4.
You know, a fullback normally doesn't have a lot of space. He doesn't read. He just plugs ahead and runs. But he barely got that handoff that time.
Yeah, they're fortunate the hit did not come earlier. Straub to the right, Shirley to the left, the receivers. Glavin fakes it underneath, now keeps it himself, and he pays for it as he nears the 25-yard line. He'll be about a yard shy of first down with 8:05 to go, and the Tigers trailing here 20-0. Second quarter action, 4th down and a yard. Tigers lining up to go for it. See if they go fast. Keegan McDonald is the center. Glavin under center. 4th and a yard to go. They put Ferguson in motion. Now step him back to that wingback position. See if they go for it from their own 24-yard line. Ferguson again in motion. Long, hard snap. Now Glavin stands up out of it. Play clock is down to 3, and they will call timeout. 7.5 left, first half. Tigers trailing 20-0 with the football when we come back.
Agmark LLC announces their 2018 early corn program. The drying charges will be discounted for corn delivered to the Concordia terminal between now and September 30th. The discounted drying only applies at time of delivery, and it must be delivered to the Concordia terminal and applied to a contract. Please feel free to contact one of their merchandisers for specific details on the early corn program. Call Agmark toll-free at 888-848-9979 or visit their website at agmarkllc.com.
It's the start of another school year, which means taking stock of your kids' growth. Do they need bigger clothes, bigger backpacks, bigger internet speeds? Help equip them for success with the speed they need. Switch to Twin Valley Pulse today to keep up with your growing family and increased need for speed. Call 800-515-3311 now to get your first 2 months free. Service availability and speed will depend on location. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
Tigers out of the timeout, go quick. Cooper Glavin right through the middle. 1st and 10 Tigers. They'll move it across the 25-yard line. So Glavin able to fall forward. And I'm sure part of the mix was they've had 2 snaps on punts that went over the head. Chet?
Well, you lose your confidence on, those kinds of plays, and what the heck, let's just get the first down.
Glavin now this time working left side. He's going to keep it himself. Runs into 2 tacklers, gets it out near the 30-yard line. A gain of maybe 3. Second down 7. 7:05 to work. We're in the second quarter. Tigers trailing 20-0. So obviously the scoreboard can lean you toward going forward as well, but I think those 2 factors may have combined. Second down 6 after a gain of 4 by Cooper Glavin. Straub off to the right side. Moon wing back left. Ferguson and he share a quick word. Jacobs to the right side. Humphrey behind Glavin, and now we've got a whistle stop before the play ever got going.
I think we have illegal
timeout Tigers. They didn't seem to know exactly what they wanted to run, so why not get the timeout and take the break? 6:36 to work. We're back in just a moment.
Hey folks, Bill Rice from the Green Team. If you're looking for a Jeep and you're wanting something with low miles and still under factory warranty, you need to come see us. We've got the best selection of Jeeps in the area. We've got Compasses, Patriots, Renegades, Cherokees. Most of these are still under factory warranty. So come out and see us, and we've got them starting at only $13,980. That's right, a Jeep starting at $13,980. So
in the Den. Rocky Downing along with studio engineer Bernie Pancella, Zach Elsinga, and Randy Chet Carlson. The Clay Center Tigers tonight taking on the Marysville Bulldogs down 20-0, but big fourth down conversion, and now sitting with second down and 6 to go. First down of the game for the Tigers. Is that correct? Second that they've been able to move the chains on. And now a ball loose on the exchange, and they'll lose a down in essence as they do recover the football, but brings up third down. And now 7, they lose a yard and the down.
I tell you what, this entire quarter so far is really strange because most of this quarter has involved us with the high snap, them taking over at the 10, us holding them, us getting the ball, us going for it on fourth down at the 20, our own 25, and getting it. It's true. I mean, it's just crazy.
Third down 7. Here's Glavin back to pass. Fires down the middle, has a receiver. Shirley, pass is caught at the Marysville 45, down to the 35, down inside the 30 goes Present Shirley. Cooper Glavin over the top. Shirley had a step, made the catch, yards after, and it's the Tigers' first down and 10 at the Marysville 29-yard line. With 5:48 to work here in the opening half of play, the Tigers now moving the football down 20-0, but the big-time play over the top on 3rd and 7, Glavin hitting Shirley over the middle. 1st and 10, football is at the Marysville 29-yard line. In motion goes Ferguson. Underneath, Glavin keeps it, now backs against the grain, takes it inside the 25, and there's a penalty flag, I think, late coming in. That might be a face mask. It looked like Cooper's head kind of wrenched back after he had gone forward. It is a personal foul face mask against Marysville.
Good call, Rock. Good catch. And, yeah, the Tigers have a little thing going on here. We pick up first down on 4th down. And then we get here, we throw a 41-yard pass to Trevin Shirley. And now coming up the middle, a nice little 5-6-yard run by Cooper Glavin. And then we tack on a face mask at the end of a personal foul. Falls down there at the, 13-yard line.
With 5:34 to work first half and trailing by 3 scores, the Tigers trying to cut it to 2 as they march it down the field. First down 10 at the Marysville 13-yard line. Tanner DeMars wide to the left side. Ferguson in motion. Glavin back to pass, fires downfield, looking for DeMars. Ball is up for grabs, and it's going to be taken away by the Bulldogs. DeMars went up to fight for it, but it was just underthrown enough for the defensive back for the Bulldogs to haul it in. That's Alex White, who was able to rip it away and come down with it, and now Marysville stops all that momentum the Tigers had gained.
Yeah, and when you go for that, you need to throw that pass so that only one guy can catch it or nobody catches it. And the short guy was able to catch it that time. It was a little underthrown, as you say. Interception in the end zone. They bring it out to the 20.
So Marysville takes over at their own 20, now up 20-0. Tigers drove it to the 13-yard line and went up top for the touchdown try, and it was picked away. Marysville Schradel out of the gun. He will fake it, wants to pass it. Fires out in the flats, has a receiver. That's Hornbeek, and he's got a couple of blockers to the 40, after the 45, near the 50-yard line. Jake Ferguson will take him out of bounds, but not before Atreyu Hornbeek takes it inside the midfield stripe. And we do have a hat down behind. I don't know if that slipped off or if that was a call.
And we have a flag
down as well, you're right.
I think that official has 2 calls.
So he's explaining to the white hat right now what the 2 calls are. He threw the flag back at around the 18-yard line.
Well, they're bringing
then he threw the hat at the 30.
Both teams, anyway.
Procedure on the offense and then holding on the offense. So they'll take the procedure because that would give them the best yardage, I believe, 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, the 2 calls are about the same as far as distance back. 15 yards from the hold would be about 5 yards back behind the line of scrimmage.
You're right. And, Hornbeek made a good run after catch there. He's been such a tough runner, mainly between the tackles for Marysville tonight. We say Backus is the only one he's going to throw to. That time he throws a little dump pass to Hornbeek, and Hornbeek made a big run. But 2 infractions by now, if the same official has a third call. What does he throw on the field?
Take a shoe off, maybe. 1st and 15. Here's a handoff to Hornbeek again, tackled by Jake Ferguson. Ball comes loose, and the Tigers have it back. And it's picked up by Keegan McDonald. Jake Ferguson, I think, jarred it loose. Keegan McDonald, I know, got it back, and the Tigers are back in business.
Well, Jake was in on that stop. Somebody else was too, but that ball comes shooting out of there, only about 1.5 yards, and Keegan McDonald was right there.
Tigers take over, 1st down 10, now at the Marysville 20-yard line. DeMar is the receiver to the left. Right is Trevin Shirley. 4:53 to work. Tigers trailing 20-0, but back in business at the Marysville 20. Here's Glavin. Handoff underneath. Dawson Humphrey. Good run through the middle. Covering that football up, as Chet mentioned earlier. And he dives inside the 15-yard line. A gain of 7. It brings up 2nd down and 3. 4:40 left, first half. Tigers trying to punch one in here and get back in this football game. And some weird breaks, a couple of turnovers, a couple of high snaps on punts that gave short fields. Here's a handoff to Humphrey, right side now. He'll take it inside the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 yardage, 1st and goal yardage for the Tigers. Dawson Humphrey wrapped it up and carried it right side across to the 1st and 10.
So many runs for Dawson in this first half. He just has been in so much traffic. It's 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards has been a long run. Here he's carried it twice, and we moved the chain.
Right behind Logan McDonald and Luke Compass that time on the right side of the line. 1st and goal. Football is at the Bulldogs' 7-yard line. Glavin under center. He's going to keep it off the fake Humphrey this time. He'll get down near the 6. Gain of a couple. 2nd down goal. Under 4 to work. First half. Bulldogs scored early with a 6-0 drive on their first possession. Tigers then had a 3-and-out and a high snap, gave a short field. It was 12-0. And then a big run by Hornbeek, 75 yards to end the first quarter, 20-0. Tigers, though, threatening here with 3.5 to go, down 20-0. Here's Glavin, keeps it to the 5, down near the goal line, diving forward. Did he get there? Touchdown, Tigers! Touchdown, place hitter, Tigers. Cooper Glavin, the second effort after it opened up, takes it in, and the Tigers on the board here in the first half. Huge turnover that the Tigers took back after turning it over themselves.
That was really big. And, you know, this has been such a strange quarter. We've had good things happen. We've had bad things happen, and it just keeps going back and forth. But the Tigers able to take the ball after this turnover at the 20-yard line, put some stuff together, and get the ball into the end zone.
Tigers will try for the extra point. Tanner DeMars to kick it. Blake Frederick is the holder. The snap is high. DeMars has it. He'll run right side. Great will to the 10, to the 5, and driven out of bounds shy of the goal line. Tigers, though, on the board, down by 2 scores. 3:23 to work, second quarter, 20-6. Tigers trail when we come back.
Ray's Apple Market continues to bring you savings every week to stretch your grocery dollars. One way is with Ray's Apple Market app. Download it today and start saving money right away. You can click on a variety of items you need and the instant coupons are applied at checkout. Over 8,000 users are adding up the savings and like the convenience of having the savings in the palm of their hands. You'll never know what you can save until you start using the app from Ray's Apple Market.
Putting the highest quality food on the world's dinner table starts with you providing high-quality feed to your livestock. Central Valley Ag Feed Mill Manager Dean Nygren is proud to help.
Working with farmers and cattlemen really gives you a sense of pride. It's feeding the world.
CVA Business Process Manager James Krackemeyer says customers know they can depend on their co-op.
If they don't succeed in what they're doing, we can't succeed as a co-op either.
You and Central Valley Ag, growing agriculture together.
The Tigers will kick it off after the score. The turnover forced and recovered by Keegan McDonald, and then Cooper Glavin takes it in from 6 yards out after Dawson Humphrey's 2 runs that put him to first down and goal. And now the Tigers will kick it away with Tanner DeMars on the field. And the kick is a good one. End over end, going to be taken back at the 15-yard line. A return to the 20. 25, down to the 30. Breaks back inside. Backus gets by a tackler. He's to the 40. Now trying to turn the corner outside. Midfield stripe 40. And driven out of bounds by the kicker, Tanner DeMars. Backus caught that right hash, worked left hash, and back to the right sideline before DeMars finally tracked him down.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm convinced Backus is a pretty good athlete.
I mean, he was good last year. He got better.
No, I remember him very well, but, you know, I saw those stats from last weekend, and I thought, really? You know what I mean? And all of a sudden,
you're like, he's for real.
He's able to make some cuts. He's able to cut back against the grain. He's a lot smarter runner than he was last year.
We've got a timeout taken by Marysville here. 3:12 to go in the first half. Tigers back within 2 scores, 20-6, but now Marysville has it at the Tiger 38 when we come back.
The quarterback counts on his O-line for protection in the pocket. In Clay Center, you can count on Farm Bureau agents Justin Tadman and Michael Hodges to protect your family's blind side no matter what life throws at you. We're there to handle all your auto, home, farm, life, and business insurance needs. Don't scramble around working with multiple insurance companies. Talk to Farm Bureau agents Justin Tadman and Michael Hodges today. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company.
3:12 to work first half. Tigers down 20-6. Huge momentum swing for the Tigers to get the turnover and then take it in and score it, only to see Jacob Backus for Marysville take it to their 38-yard line. The defense for the Tigers needs to stop.
Really do. And that's after a pretty good kickoff by DeMars.
Right.
And he was just able to get a good return out of it. Tiger D needs to step up here. Marysville has good field position.
2 receivers right, 1 left. And a handoff to Raver in the backfield. Out on the outside, Jake Ferguson. The Daredevil makes the tackle at around the line of scrimmage. May have even got him for a loss of a half a yard. It's second down the ball.
Oh, he did, and that's after I don't remember who it was, but we had somebody else miss a tackle 2 yards deep in the backfield. But Jake was not going to miss that tackle, and it's a 1-yard loss.
Second down, 11. Now to 2:45 remaining. Both teams left with 1 timeout in this first half. Raver stands to the left of Schroeder, the quarterback. Second down, 11. Pitch left for Raver. He's being chased in the backfield and tripped up right at the last second by Blake Frederick. He just got the ankle. That's all he needed. It's a gain of maybe 3. It brings up third down and long. If he doesn't make the tackle, there's a lot of space to run.
Well, and we've said that, 3 times tonight on tackles Blake's made. He's out there on that edge, and it's him or nobody.
Terrific play to go down low and just find a way to make the stop. 2:05 left first half. Tigers trailing here by 14, trying to get a stop before the halftime break. At the half, by the way, Coach Ted Brown again joins us with the Locker Room Show. Third down, 7. Stradle from the gun, turns, makes the handoff, rolls it right, wanting to pass it, does on the move downfield, and overthrows his intended target, Jacob Backus. Pretty good coverage down there with Trevin Surley underneath and Cooper Glavin over the top.
Exactly right, and that's what I was going to say. He was trying to fit it into a very small space, and we had good coverage top and bottom.
Fourth down, 7, with 1:41 left. And we'll see if the Bulldogs line up to punt it. You would think so, although at the 35 and this time of the game, I guess some thinking could be done. Fourth down, 7. And they will line up as if to go for it at the Tiger 36-yard line. Stradle turns, rolls right, pressure coming. Shirley almost had him. Now he fires off his back foot and has a receiver in Backus. Ferguson will run him out of bounds. Man, they had the play call defensively. Shirley was right in the bug of Stradle. He just almost came too hard and overran the quarterback.
It's so easy on a linebacker or corner blitz like that to have your momentum take yourself out of the play because you're coming so hard, and it takes such a small half step to miss that. But that's exactly what happened. Boy, he almost turned around to the face of him.
First down and 10, Marysville now at the Tiger 23-yard line. Stradle underneath Raver, and he is going to be stood up. Tackle on the outside there by, trying to get a number for you, I think it's Dawson Humphrey made the play. So. Dawson Humphrey, yeah, the great tackle out just off the edge. The linebacker stepped up, got the outside hip, dropped him for no gain. So it'll be 2nd down 10, 1:09 to work. Football is at the Tiger 23-yard line. And now we have a timeout taken, well, I thought it was by a team equipment timeout. Well, and I'm not sure who it is. Marysville went over to pump it up. And the official said, no, not that kind of timeout. 1:04 left in the half. Tigers trailing 20-6. 2nd down long. Marysville at the Tiger 23. And a handoff Hornbeak. Haven't heard from him in a while, and he rolls off a tackle, rolls off another, takes it inside the 15-yard line, and he has first down yardage with under a minute to go here in the second quarter.
Tell you what, these last 35 seconds have been so slow on the game clock.
Yeah, make it tick, right?
Yeah.
Find a way to make the clock wind down. First down and goal now at the 10. Under a minute to work, first half. Schradel has Hornbeak beside him. He fakes to him, back to pass. Now steps, fires back at the end zone. It's overthrown and incomplete. He was looking that time for Alex White, and it brings up 2nd down and goal.
Well, both Alex White and Cooper Glavin think they should have caught that pass because it went through both of their hands. First it went through Alex White's hands, then it went through Cooper Glavin's hands, but there was a lot of heat on that ball, too.
42 seconds to work, first half. 20-6, Tigers trailing by 2 scores, trying to keep it there and get to halftime. Schradel has 3 receivers to the short side of the field. And he will keep it himself behind Hornbeak, and it's going to be tackled by Dalton Brumfield with 34 to work. He gets it near the 6-yard line. 3rd down and goal, 30 seconds left. Marysville and Clay Center both with 1 timeout remaining. 24 seconds now left on the second quarter clock. Tigers down by 14. Schradel. 3rd down and goal, handoff Hornbeak, and he is going to be wrapped up. That is Brumfield again. He had help on the inside, but he was the one that corralled him and really brought him back. Gunny Mullen in on the play, along with maybe Dylan Moon.
Well, Marysville was well coached there. They were letting that clock run down on that play clock. They ran 3rd down. They didn't make it, and they called a quick timeout. So with 12 seconds to go in the half, they were quick to get their last timeout called.
So it's 4th down and goal at the 5. 12 seconds left, first half of play. Tigers, well, you stop here and you gain more momentum.
Absolutely.
You give the score you just got back, and you lose some momentum,
Yeah, and it's all about how you go into the locker room for halftime.
A lot of times. It really is.
Which is all about how you come out of the locker room for third quarter.
Right. Because right now this is a game.
It is.
And one score is not going to really make it a non-game.
No.
You just feel a whole lot more part of it when it's 2 scores.
This is very important for momentum. More important for momentum than anything.
4th down and goal. 12 seconds left. Marysville at the Tiger 5-yard line as Hornbeak decides Schradel. In motion goes Backus. Schradel back to pass. Look into the end zone, and it is going to be caught in the back of the end zone. Terrific pass and catch. That time Caden Brenniger comes up with it. Glavin was right there, but what a pass from Schradel on the money.
And I'm going to be honest, that's not what I thought they'd run. That was kind of on a short field, almost like a skinny post. You know, it's the type of pattern that was, and that's not what I thought they would run. But it was that play has to be thrown perfectly, and it was.
It was, yeah. They ran Backus to the left side, maybe to draw as much attention as possible, and then they found Brenniger in the back of the end zone. 26-6 now. Bulldogs go up by 3 scores once again. Schradel looking left, option, keeps it, falls forward. He is going to be stopped short with 7 seconds left in the first half of play. 26-6, Bulldogs lead it. Tigers will get a kickoff coming the way to close down the second quarter after this.
The Specialty Clinic at Clay County Medical Center offers access to over 20 specialized medical providers for general surgery, orthopedics, ENT, dermatology, and many more. Our team of specialists are able to see you for almost any medical condition. With our convenient location at Clay Center, there's no need to travel an hour
hour or more to see a specialist. For more information, visit ccmcks.org or call 632-2144. Clay County Medical Center. Our family, caring for yours.
The Tigers will get it back here before the halftime break, but they fall behind 26-6. Marysville ran a surprising play to you and I, Chet, and ran it to perfection. That was a great pass and catch.
You have to execute that play perfectly, and you don't see that often at the high school level. Run, because that's a precision play, and it was run very well.
Tigers have Tanner DeMars and Lane Musselman back to receive with 7.2 seconds left here in the first half, and the Tigers trailing 26-6.
I was going to say what we need to do is put our deep receivers the second layer because they really haven't kicked past the second layer. The only time that one time it did get back to DeMars was on the bounce.
This is a different kicker than Dworkati. And it's going to be taken by Sincere Sanders at the 25-yard line. Return to the right sideline, trying to turn the edge, and he's going to be pulled down from behind. And he will get out of bounds at about the 44. Good return, good wheels by Sanders. Pulled down from behind up near that collar, and I kind of thought for a moment, but he did back away from it, I think, before he really winked on it.
He did. Sincere Sanders went up and he caught that ball at about its face. He was backing up on the ball, and that's hard to catch on a kickoff. But he did a good job of controlling the ball and got a good return out of it.
Tigers will have it with 2.5 seconds remaining in the half. They trail 26-6 against Marysville. Straub, the receiver, off to the left side. See if the Tigers take a shot. They will run it with Glavin off the option play, and he takes it to the midfield stripe. Headed to halftime. We'll come back in a moment, give you a quick look at this first half, and then we'll also get a chance to hear from Coach Ted Brown from our locker room show. That's all coming up at halftime.
The agronomy professionals at Wilbur Ellis can bring to bear the wisdom of a global company together with the personalized help of a neighbor, partner, and friend. From season to season, your focus changes. And now as you look forward to your fall wheat drilling and cover crop planting, turn to Wilbur Ellis for all your seed supplies, plus fertilizer and nitrogen. Join farmers all around the world who count on the latest technology, products, service, and expertise of their local agronomist at Wilbur Ellis.
In this risky market, does your farm have the protection it needs? Farmers Union Insurance is committed to providing our farm families with complete insurance solutions for every operation, large or small. We have products to cover everything from crops to combines, homes to barns, autos to auto steer and your tractors. Our products will help manage your risk and keep you protected from the unknown. Give me, Jim Gearhan, a call at 632-3264 or stop by our office at 426 Lincoln Avenue in downtown Clay Center. We are proud to support the Tiger Athletics.
The lawn and garden season isn't over when the weather gets cooler. This is the best time to prepare your yard for fall and winter. Hometown Lumber and Hardware has the grass seed, fertilizer, garden hoses, and sprinklers you need for a healthy, hardy lawn. They also have rental equipment to make planting new seed and spreading fertilizer easier. See about renting overseeders, lawn spreaders for an even application, and tillers to aerate the soil. Come next spring, your lawns will flourish. Visit Hometown Lumber and Hardware in Marysville. Download the Ray's Apple Market app today and start saving on the name brands you like. Coupons you download are applied to your purchase at checkout, and deals of the week can be sent to your phone so you don't miss out. Plus, you'll find great quality with certified Angus beef or Smithfield prime pork, and homemade Rock House salads for mealtime options. Look for savings throughout the store, on your phone, and online with the app. Make your list full of savings from Ray's Apple Market.
Back at halftime from the Den, Clay Center hosting Marysville tonight, trailing 26-6. This had a weird ebb and flow to the first half. The first quarter alone, Marysville, 5 minutes, churn, bang, big pass play, touchdown. They lead 6-0. And then the Tigers 3 and out, and on the punt snap, it goes over the head of Trevin Shirley, short field. Boom, they're right back in for another touchdown. And then we get to the end of the first quarter, and the Tigers have, short yardage situation. They're trying to figure out what to do. They turn it over on downs right before the end of the first quarter with 1 second left, and 75 yards later on a screen pass, Atreyu Hornbeak takes it in, and then the Tigers in the second quarter got even stranger, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
Because they started to move. They got the big return from DeMars to begin the second quarter, and then they turn it over. Then they take it back. Then they score. Things are looking cheery, and then Marysville closes it out with a touchdown drive to finish it off, and it was just a kind of an odd first half.
Everything about the first half was odd, and nothing made sense. I'm going to tell you that. Did you watch any of last night's NFL?
A bit of the first half. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Exact same thing. Nothing in that game made sense. I mean, through both halves. I mean, it was nothing common, nothing predictable. Teams got stopped when they shouldn't. Teams made things they shouldn't. And, you know, it's just something that defies all common sense.
Yeah. Do the stats make any sense at all, Z?
Not really. For Clay Center started out pretty slow, only about 20 yards in the first quarter, but they got things clicking in the second quarter, and they've got 75 yards rushing and 45 to the air so far. And Marysville, a lot of it's just on big chunk plays.
Right.
They've got 200 yards of total offense. Ouch. With 120 through the air. A lot of it coming off that 75-yard pass and another 30-yard touchdown pass.
That is crazy. I mean, none of it makes sense. Of course, they had a couple of short fields, which helped.
Yeah.
I mean, one score was off of, a 20-yard drive or something when the punt went over the top. But, yeah, it's just been an odd first half of play.
And when they took over just outside the 10, they didn't score. We stopped.
And I won't say we built up that final stop the Tigers were trying to make, because I think it was important.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying the game's out of reach, because obviously we were right there within 2 scores, but the momentum of what could have happened after we turn the football over, then we get it back, then we score, and then Marysville gets the big return, and then we almost get them stopped again, and then with 12 seconds left, they punch it in. That's tough.
Oh, it's really tough. And, you know, it comes down to a lot of this is thinking on the field. You know, a lot of the little breakdowns where they got big plays, it was because we had a breakdown of execution,
right.
Not physical breakdown, more of a mental breakdown of how we executed that play.
Well, the first touchdown to Backus, I mean, there was nobody near number 9, and he's the favorite target for this team.
Right.
We know that. And then the Hornbeak, the screenplay went 75 yards.
Yeah.
We just weren't in position downfield.
Exactly.
And so those two big things, and the 2 punt snaps, they go over the head. That's something you don't expect to happen.
Yeah, and, you know, I always worry. There was 1 second left on the clock when he took that 75-yard screen pass. And I always worry about those plays because it's almost like everybody's just thinking, okay,
we'll get to the next
We're going to run play,
right.
run one play, and we'll be at the quarter. Well, you got to finish running the play.
See, the Tigers individually, you mentioned some of the yardages. I know Trevin Shirley's had a couple of big catches.
Yeah, he's got a couple catches for 45 yards, and Cooper Glaven's got a good night rushing so far. He's got 51 yards, and Humphrey's at 23.
And, you know, such a tag team effort to get the short field. Dawson Humphrey, 2 runs, first and goal. 2 runs later by Cooper Glaven, they take it in. It's 20-6, and then we mentioned the last touchdown that Marysville punched in. We're going to get a timeout because we want to get you to a conversation, week 2 of our locker room show with Coach Ted Brown. We will be visiting with some of the Tiger seniors, as we have in the past on the locker room show in weeks to come, but another chance to talk with Coach Ted Brown on our halftime show coming up next.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for the Italian collection. How would you like it?
I'll take a rallying cry, please.
Coming right up.
Champions of flavor! Ahead lies a meaty, savory, and spicy trio of Italian subs. But let not these European flavors overpower you. For tonight we dance on the crumbs of spicy Italian BFT, and turkey Italiano melt. Go more to Subway and make it what you want. Limited time at participating shops.
Agmark LLC announces their 2018 early corn program. The drying charges will be discounted for corn delivered to the Concordia terminal between now and September 30th. The discounted drying only applies at time of delivery, and it must be delivered to the Concordia terminal and applied to a contract. Please feel free to contact one of their merchandisers for specific details on the early corn program. Call Agmark toll-free at 888-848-9979 or visit their website at agmarkllc.com.
Ricka chicka boom, ricka chicka boom. Wow, you thought I was going to do that old cheer. The Citizens National Bank is here to cheer on the Tiger students in all their academic and sports activities. As a community, let's rally behind the Tigers and show them our support for their hard work and dedication. The Citizens National Bank is always cheering the Tigers on to another victory. Go Tigers. Member FDIC.
A familiar face and a friendly smile. The Citizens National Bank.
The Radiology Department at Clay County Medical Center offers state-of-the-art imaging services. Whether you need an MRI, CT, ultrasound, mammography, or an X-ray, our digital imaging capabilities will exceed your expectations. Our CT is equipped with low-dose software, which reduces radiation by 30 to 50%. Our highly trained staff focuses on providing the most positive patient experience possible. Call 632-2144 to schedule your next appointment. Clay County Medical Center. Our family caring for yours.
Joined by the head coach of the Clay Center Tigers, Ted Brown, coming off week number 1 for you guys, Coach. We have to go back and visit it, whether we want to or not. I guess get a feel for what opening night. Let's start with pregame, the atmosphere, Harley night, and so much the community does to put that all together.
Bike night was amazing. That was one of the coolest things I've seen in a high school football game ever in my entire life. So the atmosphere was awesome. And we had talked about before, I really hoped that we would get to be on defense first, because I knew the kids were just going to be just really, really excited. And they were. And we went on offense first, and the first snap, we messed it up a little bit because the kids were just too excited. But the pregame atmosphere was pretty awesome.
The game itself, we talked last week. This is a group of guys that haven't seen a lot of varsity football Friday nights. And you could see the growing pains. I think that was obvious, but you could also see them kind of settle in as the game went along and do some positive things.
Yeah, I was really pleased that they played really hard. And number one, first and foremost, I mean, that's kind of our expectations here. Are the kids playing really hard? And it was a lot of alignment, assignment stuff that you would expect from a really young team. Maybe just not 100% sure of themselves and, where they were supposed to be and what their responsibility was. And all it takes is one guy to not be sure and not do the right thing. And it's a chain reaction. And we saw that happen a couple times. And looking back at the film, I was pretty optimistic. After the game, I was pretty dejected. But after watching the film, I mean, there were so many correctable mistakes. And anytime you see those as a coach, you have to feel good, because I feel like our staff can get in and we can fix those things and get a lot better.
One of the things that is not correctable always is playing hard, and I think that's what you bring up. The guys went out. If you go full steam and with all you got, as long as you're doing that, especially early in the season, there's a window there to work on these things.
Oh, for sure. And as long as we get all these things corrected before district play, and we show a lot of growth before district play, I like where we'll be at. And then Abilene, they had one guy that started both ways. And you can kind of see that effect as the game wore on. Our guys were, that's just, if you play really hard for, 60 snaps, that 70 snap, that is hard. Especially when you have guys you're going against that have been getting a lot more rest, as they've been getting 30 snaps then. And so that's tough. That's tough, but we fought hard, and I was very proud of them.
A couple of things I'll mention and let you comment on. First off, defensively, we seemed to get where we wanted to be a lot of the times. We had guys in position to make plays, and we just didn't seem to finish. It's hard to go from practice to football Friday, especially when you're inexperienced. So I see that as a positive in the long run.
Yeah. Well, yeah, in practice, our first team's been tackling a bunch of sophomores, and then you have to go out there and tackle a bunch of 18-year-old men. And you're like, whoa, they didn't go down quite as easy as those guys did in practice. And you saw that. We have to tackle way lower. And then we're going to have to, and that we saw that kind of like you talked about. We would make contact with them, and then they would get 2-3 extra yards pretty consistently. So we're going to have to really drop our pad level, and that's going to be one really key thing going into this week.
I'll jump to the offensive side of the football. Actually, defense and offense. I thought Cooper Glavin had a really good ball game. He came and hit a lot on the defensive side, made too many tackles for your defense as a safety, but was there in position, threw the ball well, had some guys catch the ball. But I want to talk about the offensive line. A couple of things. That's as big a line as we've had in a long time. They still have pretty good feet. And I thought maybe a suspect for me going in is how long they could sustain.
Yeah.
I thought they did a pretty good job for a first Friday.
Yeah. We kind of make plans to sub them out a little bit more. And, you know, after their performance, I think we can maybe ease up on that a little bit and maybe shorten our rotation a little bit because they did handle it pretty well. And we had 5 new starters on the O-line, which is... You say suspect. That's a lot of question marks there. But we had 5 new starters, and for a lot of them, and our center, Keegan McDonald, this is the first time he had ever played offensive line in his life. So when you take all those things into consideration, then you got to feel pretty decent coming out of it, I suppose.
Let's talk about Marysville. It's a team that has been a powerhouse in the NCKL and across the state. They made it to the championship game last year. They've lost some guys like the Tigers have, but they're a talented team. Chapman may be better than some think. So they see that score and think, oh, Marysville's down. Well, I don't think that's the case at all, right?
No, Chapman is up. That's the case. Chapman is a very good team, and they consistently dominated the line of scrimmage. Chapman's line was really, really impressive to me. But I think it says more about Chapman than it says about Marysville. Marysville like you said, they're replacing a lot of starters, kind of like the same boat we're in. A guy like Bloomer at quarterback for them, you just can't replace guys like that. It just doesn't work in high school football. So they still have a lot of guys in space that are very, very talented, and that's kind of like what they like to do is get guys in space. And again, it's saying more about Chapman than it was about Marysville. I think they're both very good teams.
Yeah, I would agree. And I guess more importantly than what the Bulldogs bring at you is what's it been like? Kind of an odd weekend with Labor Day. You guys get back though and do get to practice, I think, on Sunday. As you come back from a disappointing opening night, how the guys responded?
Oh, they responded well. I mean, we went and broke down kind of what they did wrong and what they did right, some positives, some negatives, and just tried to correct those things. And they weren't really down on themselves, and I made it a point to make sure they weren't because they showed a lot of really good stuff. And so, you know, moving forward, we just had a couple things we wanted to hit on, but overall, they came in with high spirits and feeling pretty good.
Tiger Talk, 3 quick questions for you. Kind of caught you off guard a little bit last week, so we'll try to do the same. It was bike night. Of the Tiger coaching staff, who do you think's the one guy that would be on a Harley more often than anybody else?
Casper.
He used to ride a lot, actually. Yeah, you called that one right. That's a good call. If you were to ride a first, yes or no, would you ride a motorcycle, or have you?
No, I don't think I would, because then my son would have that on me, because I'm not going to let him. So he would be like, Dad, you did, though. So, nah.
And favorite pregame song for you as a player, not as a coach? Did you have one that you just had to have in the system before you got on the field?
I personally didn't, but when I was in high school, they had some pretty good ones. Trying to think of TNT. Would probably be the one. That one's a good one. And we opened up to that one every game.
Bonus question, were you a get by yourself, meditate alone kind of guy, or were you in the middle of the mix?
I still am a get by myself, meditate alone kind of guy. Yeah.
I can believe it. Coach, really appreciate the time. Again, the Tigers at home against the Marysville Bulldogs, week 2.
It's the start of another school year, which means taking stock of your kids' growth. Do they need bigger clothes, bigger backpacks, bigger internet speeds? Help equip them for success with the speed they need. Switch to Twin Valley Pulse today to keep up with your growing family and increased need for speed. Call 800-515-3311 now to get your first 2 months free. Service availability and speed will depend on location. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
Formerly serving you as Crop Production Services, your Nutrient Ag Solutions retailer is always standing by. And the same faces you've relied on for years are now more capable than ever, no matter what comes your way. We're more than an unwavering partner. We're the first choice in the field to help you get the most out of yours. Our commitment is to deliver high-quality products and service, and our customer-focused teams will meet your crop nutrition needs efficiently and on time. Visit nutrientagsolutions.com to learn more.
Whoa, Nelly, he could go all the way. You know what season is, boss man?
Football season?
Yep, my Huskers and your Wildcats are taking the field.
And don't forget about our Clay Center Tigers. They're back in action.
That's right, they've been busting their tails.
Union State Bank supports all athletes and students busting their tails in this new season.
Go get them Tigers from Union State Bank. Member FDIC.
Back again at halftime. Our thanks to Coach Ted Brown for visiting with us once again this week. You can see that entire video and interview on our YouTube channel, KCLY YouTube channel. Big weekend on KCLY tonight. Football Friday, tomorrow morning. Breakfast with the Cats. A Wildcat Saturday, hosting 18th ranked Mississippi State.
Are you going, Rocky?
I think there's a really good chance that, the three of us here in this booth will be there. What do you think?
I think there's a really good chance. We may not even go to bed.
Why bother at this point?
Right.
But no, it's 9 o'clock is your pregame, 11 o'clock kickoff on KCLY. And then Sunday, Chiefs Sunday, the regular season opens up. 2 o'clock pregame. They kick off at 3:05 at the L.A. Chargers. I've had to really make myself work and not say San Diego.
Hard.
But that'll be on Sunday afternoon. So great stuff this weekend.
It is.
Big 12 opens tonight. TCU is playing Southern Methodist tonight. The lone Friday night game.
SMU.
Mustangs. Tigers will get the football to begin the second half. Again, trailing 26-6. They will have Tanner DeMars, Blake Frederick back to receive. The tasty pastry kickoff taken by DeMars at his own 20-yard line. Goes from the right over to the left side, out to the 30. Now cuts it up the field, caught from behind. It's the 35-yard line, taken out of bounds by Alex White. Tigers will take over with the football to begin the second half, again trailing by 20.
Well, on the scoreboard, we're behind by 3 touchdowns. In real stats, we are also. But in real stats, if you take out 2 plays, 2 serious breakdowns plays, we basically have the same offensive stats as they do, and we're down by 6 points.
Cooper Glavin goes in under center. He will take it left, they'll move it right, and it's going to be hit to the line of scrimmage. Just not much there. And I've said a couple of times it looks like a busted play. That may be a design quarterback trap.
I think that was. I think it absolutely was, and maybe it was earlier, too.
It looked very similar.
Yeah, it did.
Second down 10, no gain on the play. Ethan Straub is your receiver to the right side.
But it looks awkward.
It does, yeah.
It doesn't, usually a trap looks smooth. That looks awkward.
Jake Ferguson goes in motion. They'll pitch it to him out to the right side. Trying to turn the corner. Is going to be caught out there, though, by the Bulldogs' Matt Lindhorst. So Tigers trying to stretch the field outside a little bit after running in between the tackles. And Jake Ferguson, who will give you everything and a little bit more than he's got, just couldn't turn the corner.
Well, 3 times tonight we said if Blake Frederick wasn't there, it would have been for a lot bigger gain, if not all the way. If Matt Lindhorst wouldn't have been there, Jake Ferguson had a long way to go.
Third down 10 for the Tigers. He did get back to the line of scrimmage, which is at the Clay Center 34-yard line. Short side right, wide, is Straub. Here's Glavin, back to pass. Kidd as he releases, but has a receiver. That's Jake Ferguson, the catch to the midfield stripe. A stiff arm on Backus, gets it down to the 47-yard line, and Cooper Glavin took it in the chin as he released that football, Chet, and put it on the money. And how about the daredevil downfield? Jake Ferguson hauling it in for a big-time play for the Tigers.
Jake Ferguson got separation on his route. Cooper Glavin made a great throw, and you said Cooper Glavin took a shot. He was a little slow to get up, and he's still trying to kind of get his bearings. But Jake Ferguson with a big stiff arm after the catch as well. Big game for the Tigers. 1st and 10. Ferguson goes in motion. He'll hand off underneath to Humphrey. Gets by 1 tackler. Now some open field. Down near the 40-yard line. Good run by the junior, Dawson Humphrey, as he takes it to near the 40. It will be 2nd down and just about 2 or 3 to go. Well, it's amazing. When things happen on the outside and downfield, all of a sudden it gets a little softer in the middle. Dawson Humphrey rattles off 7 yards.
Offensive line for the Tigers. Keegan McDonald is the center. Get you the rest of the crew up front here in just a moment as Glavin goes under center. Option, keeps it, now pitches to his back, and that's Dylan Moon is going to be taken down chopped down to the knees. It'll be third down, still 3 to go.
Clay Center may be lucky to not have a penalty on that play. I think that we might have escaped one there. No gain on the run by Dylan News.
We gave you Keegan McDonald, the center. To his left is Tillman Hartner and Dalton Humphrey. Or Dalton Brumfield, I should say. And then Luke Koppas, the tackles that are right along with Logan McDonald. Third down and a couple to go. Dylan may have gotten a yard on that last carry. Football is at the Marysville 40-yard line. Third down 2. Here's Glavin and a whistle before the play really gets going.
I think we were out of time, and maybe the coaches called a timeout. I don't know. Let's see.
The Tigers sideline, they're saying maybe that the play clocks aren't the same. Now, one says 25, the other says 20. So the officials now will try to sort this out.
Which, the problem with that, the back judge is the one that makes the call for the officiating crew. He's looking at the different clock than what our quarterback's looking at because they're facing opposite direction.
26-6, that's exactly right. The score clock to his back is the one the Tigers were looking at. Now they've put the score clocks off, and they'll go old school here, although the Tigers trying to scramble to get a play in right now. Straub to the left. Third down 3. Here's Glavin, handoff underneath. Humphrey, and fights his way forward to the 35-yard line, and it brings up 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They take it to the Marysville 35.
Dawson Humphrey's been running with more of a purpose, you know. As this game works its way into a little bit of a rhythm, Dawson Humphrey's getting a rhythm himself.
8:15 to work, third quarter. Tigers trailing 26-6, but put the football in driving on the opening possession of this third period. How a team comes out of the locker room, Chet, we mentioned, even without the momentum to finish the first half. Tigers have come out and really gotten after it. Just under 8 to work. Here's Glavin. He will work it left side. Keeps it now through the middle. And on first down and 10, will take it nearly 5 yards, almost to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, he's got very close to 5 yards there. He pulled it back out of the belly of Dawson Humphrey that time and kept it himself. And he was scrapping and fighting. He's having a little equipment problem with his helmet. But Tigers now we have the field clocks going again, and they're on the same time.
Second down, 6 to go after the 4-yard pickup by Cooper. He goes under center. Turns right, hands off. Dawson Humphrey runs downhill this time and takes it all the way to the Marysville 22-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Dawson started right side, made the perfect cut back to the left, and really ran downhill. He had a steam to run. The blockers out in front.
Well, and I spoke earlier about his low center of gravity and his balance. And, you know, normally they have a hold of him within 2 yards. If he gets about 5 yards downfield and you're 2 yards away from him, he's going to hit you more than you're going to hit him.
He's a load to take down, that's for sure. It's 1st and 10. Again, Humphrey. And he falls forward inside the 20 down near the 17-yard line. Not sure if you saw it, could see Chet, but Dawson got that handoff, and a defender was right on his left shoulder. He just turned his left shoulder away from the tackler. It gained him 3 more yards.
Exactly.
Little bitty thing.
Yeah, he's got such good balance out there, and his presence, he knows where he is out there in that middle part of that field.
3-yard gain, 2nd down 7. Tigers driving here to open up the third quarter. Glavin. And we've got a penalty flag, and I believe this will be against the Tigers.
Yeah.
Motion or procedure.
That'll change it from a 2nd and 7 to 2nd and 12.
Tigers took the football, the kickoff to begin this third quarter. That was almost 6 minutes ago, game clock-wise, Jim.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, you want to control the ball. You want to get a little bit of rhythm going, which we do. You also need to come out of this with a score.
Right.
You know, we deferred, you know, from winning the toss, and so we got the ball here in the second half. You want to take advantage of that.
6:02 to work, third quarter. Tigers trail 26-6, but driving at the Marysville 22-yard line. Glavin keeping it to the left side. Now runs to the middle, to the 15, or near the 15, I should say. And it will bring up a third down, still about 6 yards to go.
Yeah, this is a critical down. This is at that point in the field where we've done well, but we still have a ways to go. And, boy, you can stall out here. It's third and not real short. You know, it's very important. We're going to go 2 more downs, but you got to make them count.
Trevin Shirley, the tight end left. Right side wide, Straub. And the ball loose in the backfield, and the Tigers going to lose yardage. Slavin goes down awkwardly. His left leg really got doubled in with the tackler. He is fighting to get himself back up on the field to try to shake it off. It was bobbled. It got loose. He picked it up, and 2 defenders right there to collapse on him. Now it's 4th and 12 instead of maybe a 4th down and very manageable. Now they got a 4th and long.
Yeah, it's 4th and very long, and you just want to come out of a play like that without an injury, because when the ball was on the grass, he didn't just dive on it. He wanted to still try to make a play out of it, so he was kind of squatting down trying to get it, and that's when he got hit.
4th and 12 at the Bulldog 23 now. Glavin back to pass, stands in the pocket, fires downfield looking for Trevin Shirley. It is going to be broken up by Jacob Backus. Stride for stride, those two went up for it together, and just neither could come down with it as Backus was able to defend it. And the Tigers, who eat up almost, they took the ball over to start this third quarter, and they've taken almost 8 minutes off the clock, 7.5 minutes, but we'll turn it over on downs at the Bulldog 23.
Well, and now the defense has to step up and play defense, make a stop, and get the ball back, hopefully with good field position and good clock time. We don't get any points for owning the clock for 8 minutes, but we get some momentum.
Turtle handoff underneath. And now the Braver, the ball carrier, gets across the 30-yard line. Finally tackled after he had broken through the field for a bit. Cooper Glavin ended up with the tackle on the play.
Cooper Glavin has a lot of soreness right now. I think he's got a leg. I think he's got an arm. I think he took a shot to the head earlier.
So they've gotten him out of the game, which is good for the moment. Marysville, 2nd down short, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Tradle, he is going to keep it off the ball fake. Now gets it out to the 40-yard line, or near the 40. Tackled by Jake Ferguson. Trevin Shirley. Also on the plate, Dylan Moon. He may have had the first contact that time. Do have a score in Chapman at half, leading Wamego 16-8. Chapman leads Wamego 16-8. That is a halftime score. Also, the Wakefield Bombers have seen Solomon go up 54-6. They're almost to halftime.
I think that's out Wakefield.
26-6 here. And Raver, no, it's going to be straight up ball on the floor, but it bounces right back up in his hands. Terrific play by Dalton Brumfield in the backfield. The ball, he had the tackle on him. The ball came loose. And one of those bounces again, Chet. You know what this means, Randy Carlson?
Yeah.
As this season goes along, we are owed a whole lot of bounces to go our way.
I think we are too. Cooper Glavin's back in the game. It was almost like he had a little stinger in that arm or something, and it was his right arm. But he's back out there playing safety.
3 minutes to work, third quarter. Tigers have the Bulldogs in the 2nd and 15 now. Tradle fakes it. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Brumfield nearly got him, but the pass is off to Raver downfield across the 45, and then driven out of bounds inside the midfield stripe. Very close to first down yardage. It brings up 3rd and short. Tell you what, Brumfield was bringing it that time, and he got the hit, but what a pass by Schradel to get Raver open on the screenplay.
Well, Brumfield tried to shorten the screenplay. He tried to speed up the pace of the screenplay, but nobody else on the team picked up the screenplay. So we still stopped him short. It's 3rd and 2.
3rd down, 2 to go. It's at the Bulldogs' own 48-yard line. They need almost the midfield stripe. Handoff underneath. Great hit in the backfield. Raver trying to pull forward. It appears to be short, but very, very close. That's great second effort by the Bulldogs senior.
Yeah, and we had a good hit on him back there. It's going to be 4th and 1. Of course, they'll go for it. There might be a hard count involved as well.
Right.
But they're almost to midfield. They're at the 49-yard line, 4th and 1, and here they come.
Backus, the receiver, wide left. Everything will be right inside the tackles, though, on this on 4th and short from the gun. They do hand off underneath, and Raver falls forward. across the midfield stripe, 1st and 10 Marysville. 2:07 left to go, third quarter. Tigers trailing here 26-6. Football is at the Tiger 48-yard line.
So here we are just at midfield. It's still a great place to make a stop. You know, it's a great place to make a stop, get the ball back. We gave him the ball on the 15 one time. We gave him the ball on the 10 one time.
Right.
Here we are at midfield. Let's make a stop.
Treadle. Hand off Raver again. And he is going to carry a Tiger pile about 5 yards forward. Tillman Hartner got a pretty good start on him, but Raver had such a head of steam going, he was catching him from behind. Down to 1:30 left, third period. 2nd down 5 after the first down carry by Raver.
Raver, you didn't call his name much in the first half, but you're calling his name here in the second half.
And we haven't seen Atreyu Hornbeek on the field much in the second half.
Exactly.
2nd down 5. Both were on the field for the majority of the first quarter. Back to pass. Tradle forced in the pocket by McDonald. Nearly had him. Now he shakes free again. Morgan Stevold right there. And then finally it is Logan McDonald who will wrap up the quarterback and bring him down. It'll be 3rd down and still 2 to go.
Logan McDonald and a little help from Dawson Humphrey there at the end.
3rd down 4. Nearly a loss of big yardage as the Tiger defensive line got through and got there, but just could not finish it off.
3 of our big guys were, it was like chasing a cat back there.
3rd down and 3. 31 seconds remaining. Third quarter, Clay Center again trailing 26-6. Down to 22 to work. And a timeout on the field taken by the Bulldogs. 26-6, Tigers trailing, 20 seconds left here in the third when we come back.
Hey football fans, this is State Farm Agent Dave Borgerding thanking you for your support of my local business. Because of your support of my State Farm Agency, we're able to give back in the form of sponsorships, the State Farm Fishing Derby, the State Farm Community Appreciation Day at the Clay Center Pool, and the USD 379 Staff School Year Kickoff. We appreciate your business. Visit ClayCenterInsurance.com for a quote or find us on Facebook. That's ClayCenterInsurance.com. Go Tigers.
20 seconds remaining here in the third. Clay Center trails 26-6, trying to make a stop on the Bulldogs, who have it at the Clay Center 41-yard line. This quarter has been owned by the Tigers.
It really has.
It just didn't get the payoff on the drive.
We haven't changed anything on the scoreboard, but we have controlled the quarter up to now.
Tradle now has Hornbeek beside him in the backfield. Brendiger in motion. Back to pass. Pressure coming. And it's going to be Tradle who tucks it and runs it to the Tigers' 35-yard line and picks up first down yardage. And the Tigers are getting close to the Bulldog quarterback. They just haven't been able to get a stop in the backfield.
And we brought it. We brought it from the right side that time, put some pressure on it, put some pressure on him, but he was moving to his right anyway, so he was moving away from the pressure.
This will close out the third quarter. We'll head to the final 12. The Tigers trailing 26-6 from the Den.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Cleanse your body and your mind with Nature's Truth Essential Oils, now available at Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy and Radio Shack. You'll find a nice assortment of fragrances that benefit your health and are the perfect choice for all your aromatherapy needs. Nature's Truth Oils contain only the purest ingredients from nature, and you'll discover great blends and soothing oils to calm the senses. Shop for diffusers and Nature's Truth Oils at Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy, downtown Clay Center.
So we head to the fourth here. The Tigers down 26-6. good third quarter. They came out. They executed really well.
Yeah.
Yards in the third quarter. I get you working on the computer, but
yeah, I think the Tigers had, that drive was 46 yards. 12 plays, 46 yards.
Really did some good things. Hornbeak with the carry for the Bulldogs to begin the fourth quarter as Marysville leads the Tigers 26-6. Of course, Jake Ferguson had a big return to the Tigers, setting some things up, and
he had a big return. He had a big catch.
No kidding. Second down and short for Marysville. Just underway, fourth period. Tigers trailing 26-6 here. Schradel with Hornbeak beside him in the backfield. Brown, the receiver, wide right. Back to pass is Schradel. Stands in the pocket, fires downfield. Ball is tipped and then nearly caught by Brown, but it falls incomplete, and it's third and short.
And two Tiger defenders were close, but not close enough to make the interception. I mean, it went just beyond the fingertips of different Tiger defenders.
Exactly. So third down and short.
Oh, we got a penalty on Marysville. Illegal downfield.
Well, that was quick for a lineman to get downfield.
No kidding.
Because that was not much in the backfield.
No.
Quick drop and throw. So this will be 5 yards backward, and instead of third and, well, you could take third and short, or you can give them second and 7, and I'm sure that's what they'll do.
Yeah, it's the difference of being inside the 30 or outside the 30.
Right. Football at the Tiger 31. Less than a minute into this fourth quarter. Second down, 6 to go. Handoff, Hornbeak caught from behind and tackled by Dawson Brumfield. Nice play. He was able to come across the line of scrimmage. Hornbeak starting to cut back, and Brumfield was right there to take him down.
And Dalton Brumfield, he got a hold of him, and then he was almost like a bulldogger because he just put on the brakes. He's pumping the brakes and pulling backwards on him. Then he got a little help from some of his friends.
Third down, 6 to go, 10:45 to work, fourth quarter. Tigers fell behind 20-0 after the first period. Then cut it to 14 points before the Bulldogs scored right before halftime. Here's a hand on Ravers doesn't have it. It's going to be quarterback with it. He gets by one tackle, gets by a second tackle. Now Mary gets by a third tackle and all the way down to the 20-yard line. They had him stop twice to make fourth down, and instead, Schradel, the quarterback, broke not one, not two, but 3 tackles to take it for first down yardage inside or near the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it was just a little bit more of the same of what we were talking about last week, but boy, that would have been so key. It would have. I mean, the 1 would have been for a loss.
Yes.
And 2 would have been for a loss. And 3 would have been to keep from moving the chain.
Exactly. 10 minutes left. Instead, Marysville has a fresh set of downs. Back to pass. Downfield. Back is open, but it's knocked away by the safety, Cooper Glavin, who did a nice job playing a little center field out there and come over and swipe that pass away because Backus was open. Instead, it'll be second down 10.
Cooper did a good job of picking up on that play, coming across from his safety position. He was kind of playing center field there, and he timed his jump just right, and it's a good thing he did because that was a pretty well-thrown ball, and he was able to just knock it out of the receiver's hands.
Second down, 10 to go for Marysville at the Tiger 21-yard line. Just under 10 minutes to work, fourth quarter. Schradel, handoff to Raver, right to the middle. A huge gap to run through. This will be first down yardage and first and goal as he takes it inside the 10. And there was nobody touching Raver for the first 8 yards of that run check.
Yeah, I think that the Tigers were so ready for the quarterback to spin out like he has been and be looking downfield to throw that all of a sudden Raver's 8 yards downfield with the ball in his breadbasket.
9:44 to work, fourth quarter. Tigers trailing 26-6. Bulldogs now have it. First down and goal just inside the 10. Here's a handoff to Hornbeak. Runs into a pile. Takes it inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. It will be second down and goal. 9:25, clock ticking here in the fourth. Jacob Ludwig in defensively now for the Tigers.
I'm ready to see actually the same play we saw in the last two plays, except he's not going to give the ball to the inside back. He's going to spin out with it.
Tradle has Hornbeek behind him, 3 receivers to the left side, the short side of the field. Tradle hands it off to Hornbeek down near the 5-yard line, still battling and crawling his way forward, 3rd down and goal.
Well, I was totally wrong. He did hand it off again. We had trips to the left that time, and I thought they were going to drag the field and he was going to spin out, but they did go ahead and hand it off up the middle.
8:40 remains, fourth quarter. 3rd down and goal just inside of the Tiger 5-yard line for Marysville.
Backus left the game.
And Jacob Backus, favorite target to the sideline.
He doesn't leave the game often.
Not in any element, special teams, offense, defense. Here's Schradel, right to the middle is Hornbeek, and he falls forward near the goal line. Touchdown, Marysville. Bulldogs will go on top 32-6 with 8:15 left on this fourth quarter clock.
Backus is in all the time, but they usually have a lot more receivers. They brought in an extra blocker that time. Backus left, and they were able to pound it in.
32-6, Marysville with the lead. And now they will line up again to go for 2. Tradle will send the receiver wide right. That's Brenninger. And then Brown wide left on the 2-point conversion try. Tradle works it left side. Now cuts it to the middle. And he is going to be fighting forward, and they will stop him short. Jake Ferguson finally finished off that play and did not allow him to cross the barrier. But the Bulldogs go on top 32-6. Stay with us. Tiger football continues in just a moment.
Robbins Motor Company of Manhattan is a proud supporter of Tiger football. It's time for their Ram Power Days. Get to Robbins Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat. Come test drive the all-new 2019 Ram truck, the longest-lasting truck in America, now priced to move with Ram Power Days discounts and 0% for 72 months. Now is the time to buy. See their complete inventory online at robbinsmotors.com or come visit them on West Anderson in Manhattan. Good luck, Tigers.
Farmers, you can stay ahead of the game with Wilbur Ellis. Since the very beginning, Wilbur Ellis has prided itself in looking forward, and that applies to every crop and every season of the year. Right now, if you're looking to get your wheat stubble cleaned up, call Wilbur Ellis for their custom application. Their forward-thinking approach to crop protection, nutrition, and seed development has earned them the reputation of always staying ahead in order to help carry you into the future. Wilbur Ellis.
Back in the den once again, Rocky Downing along with studio engineer Bernie Vancella, Zach Elzinga, Randy Carlson on a football Friday night from the den. Play Center Tigers trailing here 32-6, 8:15 to work. We are in the fourth quarter, and Play Center will get the football back at a great offensive series to begin the second half, and rain starting to fall here in the den. Blake Frederick gets an up-back reception and takes that across the 35-yard line. The Tigers will take over. Chet, a couple of things we want to take care of. The 5 Creek Automotive Spotlight play of the game. Huge turnaround after the Tigers had turned it over themselves. Jake Ferguson forces a fumble, and Keegan McDonald jumps on top of it. Big-time play for the Tigers.
Well, it was a big-time play because that meant a lot for the Tigers after that, and we needed to get that ball back, and we did. And it was just a big defensive play. Hard to hit. Heads-up play by Keegan to jump on that ball.
Tigers have the football at their own 37-yard line. 8:11 to go in the ball game, down 32-6. In your 5 Creek Automotive Spotlight play of the game, Jake Ferguson forcing a fumble. Keegan McDonald recovering. Here's Glavin, back to pass, fires downfield, looking deep for DeMar. The ball is going to be batted away by Jacob Backus. Tell you what, Backus has been a really good defender downfield. We talk about his receiving capabilities. He's been stride for stride with our guys most of the time.
And I almost think he's just as good, if not better, of a defensive back as he is a receiver. He plays the ball perfectly as a defensive back.
Yeah, he's been good. There is a light rain falling here at Auto Wonders Stadium. Second down 10, 8:04, clock stops on the incompletion. Tigers down 32-6 here in the fourth.
Has it rained this week yet?
Here's a handoff underneath to Dawson Humphrey, and he'll take it out to the 40-yard line, out across the 40. Actually, Gunny Mullen to carry that time. And he will pick up 4 or 5 yards, brings up 3rd down and 5 to go. So Logan Mullen with the carry in there at fullback.
Good run by Gunny.
Tanner DeMars, they'll bring in from the left side of the field to the right. Wide right. Trevin Shirley also on the right side. Dylan Moon, Jake Ferguson, the wingbacks. Gunny Mullen behind quarterback Cooper Glavin. Play clock at 4. Now the snap. Handoff left side. And Mullen again. And a good run by Mullen takes us to the midfield stripe and maybe a little bit more. Gunny with a good run to the left side, the sophomore barreling through.
Hey, what? Gunny ran the ball twice now for about 14 yards in both of those runs together.
Takes it to the Marysville 49-yard line. 7:08 to work in this fourth quarter. Tigers scheduled to go to Wamego next week. We'll fill in more on that in just a moment. Kind of an odd story for the Red Raiders. They were scheduled to be at home tonight and are not. And now we've got a delay of game. Tigers trying to get set, get under center, and just didn't get the snap off in time. So this will be 5 yards backward instead of 1st and 10, 1st down 15. So Wamego has artificial turf put in 3 years ago, I want to say, somewhere in that neighborhood. Beautiful, gorgeous.
Right.
It buckled on them here in the last 2 weeks, and so they've got to get someone in to restructure and get it so they can make it playable. I assume with the rains, it would be tough to be working on it much, but I don't know more details of that. 1st down 15. Here's Glavin again back to pass. Stands in the pocket, fires right side, has a receiver, Blake Frederick. Catch is going to be made down near the 30. The ball pops loose late, but the catch is made. 1st down and 10. Tigers will move it to the Bulldog 28-yard line. Cooper Glavin to Blake Frederick.
I tell you what, Blake got a separation of about a step and a half on his defender that time, and that's what made the difference of being able to complete this pass. So many times the defender has been right on our receiver. Blake got that separation.
Glavin under center. In motion goes Frederick. Handoff underneath to Gunny Mullen again. Good run again for Logan as he takes it down to the 20-yard line. The 1st down carry, a gain of 6, 2nd down 4.
So Wamego could play all away games this year.
Well, until they get it, I mean, that would be they were supposed to be at home tonight. They're on the road. And next week, we'll see what happens. Here's Glavin. Mullen again. And he gets it near the 20. He needs about the 18-yard line, but he was hit almost as soon as he received the handoff from Glavin that trip.
I'd say it's going to be 3rd and about 2, maybe 3.
Marked him down to the 21-yard line, so 3rd down 3, 5:35 to go in the ball game. Mullen stays in at the fullback position behind Glavin. Ferguson right, Frederick left, the wingbacks. 3rd and short, and the snap was bobbled. Cooper went down to pick it up, and as he did so, touched his right knee to the ground, so the play is dead right there, 4th down.
Might have been just as well for Cooper's sake.
Yeah, there wasn't much there, it didn't appear. So the Tigers will go for it, obviously down and at the Marysville 22-yard line with just under 5 to go in the game. They trail 32-6. And they will go for it on 4th down and 4. Glavin works it right, pitches late. Ferguson trying to get to the outside. He's going to be brought down in the backfield. Well, the defense got through in a hurry that time because Glavin was being hit as he made the pitch. Gutsy pitch, risky if you will, but on 4th down, why not? And then Ferguson, as soon as he caught it, had somebody right on his hip.
Yeah, it was well defended by Wamego, and Cooper Glavin made that pitch. His left arm was tied down, and he was able to pitch it with his right, but he got it to Jake Ferguson, who had no room.
A defender right there and brought him down in the backfield. So 1st and 10, Marysville takes over. Slupionic now the quarterback for the Bulldogs, and he will work it and keep it himself through the middle. Runs behind a blocker, breaks a tackle, has 1st down yardage out near the 40-yard line. Big-time run by Slupionic. Storm Slupionic had just checked in for Marysville. 4:34 to work. He played at quarterback more snaps last week. They kind of split some time. But obviously, Treadle has taken over the starting position, but good athlete in Storm Slupianic.
Yeah, and just because there's 4.5 minutes to go in the game and he's starting to run quarterback, don't think that he doesn't know what he's doing.
Exactly.
He's the other junior always competing for this job. That's movement by Marysville.
Bulldogs jumped up front that time. That'll be 5 yards back. First down, 15 to go. Again, this weekend, Wildcat Saturday tomorrow. K-State has number 18 Mississippi State coming in. A miraculous win last week, to say the least, for the Cats.
Yeah, we'll take it as a W.
And now they turn around and take on the SEC and 18th ranked Bulldogs. Should be a good one at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Harley Day tomorrow. Stripe out tomorrow. Here's a handoff in the backfield. Slupianic gives it away. Big tackle and hits. And that is Braden Dorman comes over there. I was trying to get the number. Finally saw the 9 out there, but Dorman coming through and put a pop in the backfield. Speaking of big hitters, Hunley's Garage big hitter tonight. Trevin Shirley had that stick that came after Cam Osborne had one early on the same series, and then Trevin Shirley came away with it on the opposite side, dropped him for a loss.
It was third down, dropped him for a loss. It was 9:29 to go in the second quarter. It was a great hit.
Handoff underneath again, and Gunny Mullen makes the tackle. So again, your Hunley's Garage big hitter of the game, Trevin Shirley. Trevin had 2 of them tonight. He had the big catch as well. We might as well go to the Catalyst Signing Graphics catch of the game, although we had some other nominees in there. Jake Ferguson had the big catch down the field.
Jake's catch was great as well.
And maybe we'll combine those two because they were both big hitters down the field. The Catalyst Signing Graphics catch of the game, Trevin Shirley and Jake Ferguson. Third down, 13 for Marysville. Handoff through the middle.
What a hit. Trevin's was for 41 yards. I don't remember what Jake's was for, probably 25 or so.
Cale Hauserman on the hit this time defensively.
They were both great catches, great runs, and very competitive plays. But Trevin's happened, 5:48 to go in the second quarter, and he picked up 41 yards on that play.
So 4th down and 10, and Marysville will line up to punt it. Blake Frederick is back to receive. 2:14 remains in the game. Snap is a good one. Kick is away, and it is a boomer. Frederick will have to let it go. It bounces inside the 10, rolls near the goal line, and it will be a touchback. Wow. Tigers will take over at their own 20. That thing was banged downfield. Our Debenham electrifying play of the game. Tanner DeMar has done some good things already this season, but we said at some point he's going to break one. He didn't get it to the end zone, but he showed us a little light of what it's going to be like when a seam opens up.
Well, he set up what was a good field position, good drive for the Tigers. He had a great kickoff return, and he's fun to watch. Whenever he gets that ball and has 3 open yards in front of him, there's a chance.
And just a sophomore, by the way.
I know.
Tanner DeMar is the kickoff returner, our Debenham electrifying play of the game. Blake Frederick in at quarterback now for the Tigers. Just under 2 to work in the game. Down 32-6. Frederick keeps it off the play option. Now he's got some space out in the outside of the 30, 35 near the 40-yard line, and will slip his way out of bounds, trying to cut back in against 2 defenders. But Blake Frederick, good yardage out across the 40-yard line for the Tigers again at 20+.
Great run by Blake. Blake showed a lot there when he busted that corner. He hesitated. He was going to cut it up, and then he cut it out. And when he cut it out, he showed some wheels there. He moved upfield.
Little turbo out on the outside. First down 10 for the Tigers. Frederick under center. Works at left side. Handoff this trip, and it's going to be taken by the Tigers to the midfield stripe. Carry by Dylan Moon that trip. Correction, Dawson Humphrey with the carry. So Dawson back in there. He and Mullen have had some good carries at fullback tonight. Minute 25 to work.
Got J.W. in there.
Tigers have J.W. Jackson that Chet is talking about. Second down and short. He goes into the fullback. A freshman for the Tigers. Frederick Handoff. Jackson has it, breaks one tackle, enough for the first down. He'll take it inside the 47-yard line with 1:03 to go. All right, see, it's been another challenging game to come up with a stat of the game. Last week, Tigers stopped all the two-point conversions. What do you got this week?
This week, I'm going to go with Marysville fourth down conversions. They got 4 of them. They got 4 fourth down conversions, just kept the chains moving tonight.
And we don't like to focus on the opposing team, but that was huge in this ball game tonight. It made a difference, a real difference.
It was a difference maker. It was huge.
In the backfield, Frederick breaks a tackle, now works to the right side. What looked like a 10-yard loss ends up a 2-yard gain, and Blake Frederick just would not stay die on that one. So our Midwest Products stat of the game, the Marysville Bulldogs, 4 out of 5 fourth down conversions. They were pretty good on third down, too, by the way. We wanted to get down to the nuts and bolts of things.
Third down there is 6 for 13.
Oh, they were. I thought that one time were they racking them up? No, yeah, maybe early on. Second down and long. Here's Frederick. He will keep it to the 40. And with 13 seconds left, tackled at the Marysville Bulldogs 38-yard line, very near a first down. We're down to 5 seconds left, and I believe that will be the last snap of the game. The Tigers will lose a 32-6 ball game here against the Marysville Bulldogs. Stay with us. Post-game is on the way on KCLY.
Everyone wants to be confident, and when you're covered by life insurance, you can be, because you know those who matter most in the world are protected. The Farm Bureau Team and Play Center can help make sure you have the coverage you need so you can live your life with confidence. So whether that means wearing your favorite socks with sandals or sporting that classic bow tie, you can rock it, because you know you're prepared for the future. If you don't have life insurance in place, call Farm Bureau agent Justin Tadman or Michael Hodges at 632-2585. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company.
When you've got a semi that's not on the road, it's not making money. TSI Kansas can help you get back on the road. Bring it into our full-service shop where our experienced mechanics can find and fix the problem. We also have a service truck that can come to you when you can't come to us. Get back on the road with the help of TSI Kansas. Call 785-632-5183.
Hometown Lumber and Hardware has great door busters that any grill master would love to have. The 2.5-gallon stainless steel Barber Bayou deep fryer with baskets on sale for $178.99. If you need more room to fry those bigger birds, the 4-gallon classic fryer is $208. Try a new flavor on the barbecue grill to give meats a richer taste with Danson's Louisiana, Wisconsin Hickory Grill Pellets. The 40-pound bag is $15.99. Find more door busters at Hometown Lumber and Hardware in Marysville.
Here at RW Pest Control, being locally owned and operated means taking pride in our community and being thankful to serve and support the areas where we grew up. Our priority is protecting your home or business against the threat of unwanted pests and rodents. We know you'll be happy with our service, and you may be surprised by how much we can save you. RW Pest Control is a proud supporter of the Clay Center community and Tiger Athletics. Call us today for your free estimate or visit us online at rwpestcontrol.com.
Tigers tonight dropped a 32-6 ball game as we welcome you to our post-game show being brought to you by GN Bank, Cloud County Community College, RW Pest Control, and D&D Sandblasting and Painting. Rocky Downing and studio engineer Bernie Fancella, joined tonight as always by Chet Carlson and Z-Dog Elzinga. The Tigers a 32-6 loss. This game was almost not decided, but a whole lot of the attitude and tempo and feel of this game was determined in the first quarter, it felt like.
Absolutely right. I mean, we closed out the first quarter behind 20-0, partly because they scored with 1 second to go in the first quarter, but that was indicative of what had been happening in the first quarter. That was just, it was like an exclamation point on what we had been watching, you know. And you're right, it was that type of a game determined at that point.
And then the Tigers cut it to 2 scores. They got a turnover. They get the punch in. It's 20-6, and then they allowed another touchdown in the closing. You get 1 second left first quarter. Marysville scores. 12 seconds left in the half. Marysville scores, and it really takes the wind out. But the Tigers in the third quarter came out, put together a great drive, moved the football into Marysville territory, just again couldn't quite cap it off. Z, you were saying that the numbers in this game actually, if you look at yardages, aren't that different not like the scoreboard anyway.
Yeah, it's actually only 40 yards separates the two teams total offense. We had 290 for Marysville and 250 for Clay Center, and I don't know, Marysville was just able to trim those yards into points.
And they got a couple of short fields, which probably puts a little bit of the discrepancy there between those numbers. But tough night for the Tigers. This is a game they thought you could move forward. I think they could have as well, but there were some things that just didn't go the way they wanted to, and execution continues to be something they're going to work on.
Oh, we have a lot to work on. We have a lot to work on, but we have a lot to build on. We have a lot of positives. I said this last week. Losing 32-6, how can you say, Carlson, there's a lot of positives? I saw a lot of positives out there. We gave up a 75-yard pass. We gave up a 30-yard pass with a breakdown. That's over 100 yards.
2 punt snaps over the head of the punter.
That's over 100 yards of offense, and they only outscored us on offense or outdistanced us on offense by 40.
Yeah.
So that's two
right.
breakdowns. That's breakdowns. And so a lot of that's youth. Some of it's inexperience. And, the only way to beat that is keep getting experience.
And get ready for the postseason.
Right.
It begins a week from tonight. It sounds weird
That's
still.
Weird. That's wacky.
But it does. At Wamego next Friday night.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. For our studio engineer, Bernie Fancella, as always, thanks, guys. Zach Elzinga, Randy Carlson. This is Rocky Downing telling you to enjoy the rest of your Football Friday.